December 18th, 1944, evening. Somewhere on the road to Bastogne, Belgium, my name is Corporal James Mallory, Jim. Everyone calls me Jim. I'm 22 years old. 2nd Squad, 2nd Platoon, Company C, 327th Glider Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne Division. I'm writing this in the back of a deuce-and-a-half truck. We're bouncing so hard I can barely keep the pen on paper. The cold is coming right through the canvas sides. Must be 20 degrees? Maybe less. They told us we were heading to a rest area. Hot food, showers, maybe some leave. Then 2 hours ago the orders changed. Full combat load. Mount up, we're moving north. Fast. Something's wrong. Really wrong. We keep passing other units heading south. American units. Retreating. I've never seen that before. Guys with this look in their eyes. Hollow. Like they've seen something that broke them. One truck slowed down next to us. A sergeant leaned out, yelled something about tigers and panthers, about being overrun, about entire companies disappearing. Eddie Slovak is sitting across from me, my loader. He's 19, from Brooklyn, skinny kid with ears that stick out, got a gap between his front teeth that makes him look even younger than he is. He keeps asking what's going on. I don't have answers. Sergeant Kozlowski is up front with the driver. He's been with the 101st since before Normandy, jumped into France on D-Day, fought at Carentan, made it through Holland. If he's worried, he doesn't show it. But he's checking his Thompson every 5 minutes. That tells me enough. My bazooka is between my knees. M9A1. 61 inches of tube, 13.5 pounds of metal that's supposed to stop a 40-ton tank. I've got 6 rockets in my pack. Eddie's carrying 6 more. 12 total. That's all we brought because we thought we were going to a rest area. 12 rockets against what sounds like an entire panzer army. I keep thinking about Mary, my girl back in Scranton. We're supposed to get married when I come home. June of 45, Cathedral of St. Peter, big ceremony. Her father's closing his bar for the whole day. I wrote to her 3 days ago. Told her we were being pulled back for rest. Told her I'd probably get to take some leave, maybe call home. I was happy when I wrote that letter. Now I don't know if I'll ever mail another one. The truck just hit a pothole. My hand slipped. The ink smeared across the page. Everything's smeared now. The ink, the orders, the future. I can hear artillery in the distance, distant thunder rolling across the hills. But it's getting closer, each rumble a little louder than the last. The sun is setting, blood red through the trees. Eddie just asked me if I'm scared. I told him no. I lied. December 18th, 1944, late night. Assembly area outside Bastogne. We stopped moving an hour ago. Set up in a field outside town. No tents, no fires. Just sitting in the cold darkness waiting for orders. The word is spreading through the company. The Germans launched a major offensive. Breakthrough. They're calling it big. Maybe the biggest thing since D-Day. Hitler threw everything at us. 3 armies, panzers, infantry, artillery, punched a hole 50 miles wide in our lines somewhere to the east, caught us completely by surprise. Now they're pushing west, trying to split our army in half, trying to reach the coast, trying to win the war, and we're supposed to stop them, 1 airborne division, against 3 German armies. Captain Morrison called the squad leaders together. Kozlowski came back with the news. We're holding Bastogne. It's a road junction. 7 roads meet here. Every road the Germans need to move their armor west passes through this town. Kozlowski said if we lose Bastogne, they can push anywhere they want, so we don't lose Bastogne. Someone asked how long we have to hold. Kozlowski said until relief arrives. Someone else asked when that would be. Kozlowski didn't answer. The temperature is dropping. I can see my breath. White clouds in the darkness. Eddie is sitting next to me, wrapped in his blanket, shivering. He keeps looking at the photograph of Sarah. Can barely see it in the dark, but he's looking anyway. Like it's a talisman. Like it'll keep him safe. I wish I believed in talismans. I'm looking at Mary's photograph too. Took it out of my wallet. She's smiling. Taken last summer at a church picnic. Wearing a white dress with flowers on it. Hair curled. Looking at something off camera and laughing. I remember that day. It was hot. We ate fried chicken and potato salad, played softball. I hit a home run and she kissed me when I crossed home plate. Everyone clapped. That was 6 months ago. Feels like a different lifetime, like it happened to a different person. Around us, men are checking weapons, writing letters, praying. The usual pre-battle rituals. Everyone deals with fear differently. Private Morrison is throwing up behind a truck. It's his first combat since joining us 3 weeks ago. Kozlowski goes over to him, doesn't yell, just stands there, hands him a canteen after. That's the kind of leader Kozlowski is, hard but not cruel. He knows we're all scared. I should try to sleep, get what rest I can, but every time I close my eyes I see tanks, panthers, tigers, coming through the snow with their guns pointed at me. Eddie just fell asleep sitting up, head lolling forward, mouth open. I wish I could sleep like that. The sleep of someone who hasn't seen much combat yet, who still believes he's going to make it home. I know better now. After Normandy, after Carentan, after Holland, I know how easily it all ends, how fast, how random. 1 second you're alive, next second you're not. No drama, no last words, just gone. The artillery is constant now. A steady rumble like thunder that won't stop, flashes on the horizon, orange and red, the sky glowing. That's where we're going tomorrow. Into that, God help us. December 19th, 1944, dawn. Moving to the perimeter, didn't sleep. Not really. Dozed off maybe for an hour. Woke up stiff and frozen. They served breakfast, sea rations, beans and franks. Frozen solid. Had to thaw the can inside my jacket. Tastes like metal and salt, but it's calories. Need calories when it's this cold. Eddie couldn't eat his. Stomach still upset. I made him eat half anyway. Can't fight on an empty stomach. The orders came at 0600. We're moving to the western perimeter. Our company is responsible for the approaches from Flamierge. That's where they expect German armor. We marched into position as the sun came up. Gray light, everything covered in frost, our breath hanging in the air like fog. The town of Bastogne is bigger than I expected, maybe 5,000 people usually. All the civilians are hiding in cellars, scared, caught between armies. I saw a little girl watching from a basement window as we passed, maybe 7 or 8 years old, just staring at us. No expression, like she'd seen too much already to be scared anymore. Made me think of my sister's kids back home. Safe, warm, eating breakfast at a kitchen table. Different worlds. We reached our position around 0800. Western edge of town. Open fields in front. Tree line 500 yards out. Hills beyond that. Perfect tank country. That's when I realized how bad this is going to be. The ground is frozen solid. We've been trying to dig foxholes for 3 hours now and we're barely 2 feet down. You can't dig frozen ground with an entrenching tool. The blade just bounces off. Makes your hands ache with each hit. Some guys are using pickaxes. Others are setting small explosive charges to break up the earth, then scooping out the chunks. My hands are already torn up. Blisters on top of blisters. The cold makes the cuts burn. Makes them bleed more. Eddie hit rock about 2 feet down. He's almost crying from frustration, from exhaustion, from fear. All of it mixing together. I told him to take a break. Traded positions with him. Let me hit the rock for a while. Dombrowski from 3rd Squad came by. Asked if we wanted to trade positions. His foxhole is deeper. I told him no. You don't abandon a hole you've been working on for 3 hours, even if it's shallow. The officers are walking the line, checking positions, looking worried, trying not to show it. Captain Morrison stopped at our hole, looked at how shallow it is, started to say something, changed his mind, just said, "Do your best, Corporal." Then he moved on. That's worse than if he'd yelled. It means he knows. He knows our holes are too shallow. He knows we don't have enough ammunition. He knows we're in trouble, but what can he do about it? Nothing. So he just keeps walking. The artillery is getting closer, much closer, maybe 5 miles away now. You can feel it in your chest when the big guns fire, feel it in your bones. I can see the town from here. Bastogne. Church steeple rising above the buildings. Some stone houses, red tile roofs, narrow streets. Probably a nice quiet town before the war came here. Now it's about to become a battlefield. The sky is gray, heavy clouds. Looks like snow coming. More cold, More misery. Kozlovsky came by an hour ago, brought us some coffee, hot coffee in tin cups. First hot thing I've had in 2 days. Tastes like heaven even though it's weak and bitter. He squatted down next to our pathetic excuse for a foxhole, lit a cigarette, offered me one. I took it even though my hands were shaking too much to light it properly. He lit it for me, said, "Mallory, you're one of my best gunners. You and Eddie. I'm counting on you when the panzers come." I said, "Yes, Sergeant." He said, "I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to be bad, really bad, but we hold. No matter what, you understand?" I said I understood. He said, "Good man. Keep your head down. Pick your shots. Make every rocket count." Then he moved on to the next position. Eddie is looking at me. He says, "Are we going to die here, Jim?" I don't know what to tell him. Don't know if I should lie or tell the truth. Finally, I say, "Not if I can help it." He nods, goes back to digging. My fingers are so cold I can barely hold this pen. The tip keeps catching on the paper. The ink is thin, running. I should write to Mary, tell her I love her, just in case. But I can't make myself do it. Writing that feels like giving up, like admitting I'm not coming home. So I'll wait. I'll write to her after, when this is over, when we've held. If we hold, the sun is setting already. Days are short this time of year. It's going to be a long night, a long cold night, listening to the Germans moving in the darkness, getting ready to kill us. December 19th, 1944, night, foxhole. The temperature dropped as soon as the sun went down. Dropped hard. Must be in the teens now. Maybe lower. Eddie and I are huddled together in our shallow foxhole, pressed against each other for warmth. Can feel him shaking. Don't know if it's from cold or fear. Probably both. Can't see anything. No moon. Clouds covering everything. Just darkness so complete it feels like being blind. But I can hear things. Out there in the night. Movement, voices, German voices. Faint, distant, but getting closer. They're moving into position, setting up, preparing. Every sound makes my heart race. Every crack of a branch, every whisper of wind. Could be Germans, could be scouts, could be nothing. The waiting is worse than fighting. At least in a fight you are doing something, moving, acting, not just sitting here in the cold darkness imagining what's coming. Kozlovsky passed the word down the line about an hour ago. Silent watch. No talking, no smoking, no lights. Germans are close. Maybe a few 100 yards away in the tree line. We're supposed to sit here in silence and wait for dawn. Wait for them to come. Eddie whispered, "I can't feel my feet." I whispered back, "Move your toes. Keep the blood flowing." He tried. I could feel him wiggling next to me. I can't feel my feet either. Haven't been able to for an hour, but I keep moving them. Wiggling my toes inside my boots, clenching and unclenching, anything to keep the blood moving. Frostbite is almost as dangerous as German bullets out here. I'm thinking about home, about Scranton, about warm things, stupid things. The radiator in our apartment, how it used to clank and hiss, how I used to complain about the noise. Would give anything to hear that sound right now. Mary's father's bar, the big potbelly stove in the corner, how we'd stand around it on winter nights, hands wrapped around glasses of beer, laughing, telling stories. My mother's kitchen, smells of cooking, bread in the oven, stew on the stove, steam on the windows, all of it so far away it might as well be on another planet. Around midnight something happened, distant sound of gunfire, south side of the perimeter, maybe a mile away, not close but close enough to hear, small arms, rifles, machine guns, a firefight. Then it stopped, quiet again, word came down the line, German probe, testing defenses. They hit 2nd Battalion sector, got pushed back. 3 of our guys wounded, unknown German casualties. So it's starting. Not the big push yet, just probing. Feeling for weak points. Eddie is breathing fast, shallow breaths, panic breathing. I grabbed his shoulder, squeezed, whispered, "Breathe slow, in through your nose, out through your mouth, slow." He tried. Took a few minutes, but his breathing normalized. He whispered, "I'm scared, Jim, I'm really scared." I whispered, "Me too, everyone is, that's normal." He was quiet for a moment, then he said, "What if I freeze up? What if they come, and I can't move? What if I get you killed?" I told him he won't freeze up. Told him when it happens, training takes over. Your body does what it's been taught to do. You'll load that rocket without even thinking about it. I don't know if I believe that. I've seen men freeze, seen them break, seen them run, but Eddie needs to believe it, needs to believe he'll function when the time comes, because if he doesn't, we're both dead. I'm writing this by feel more than sight. Can't see the page, just hoping the pen is hitting paper, hoping the words are legible. Need to write, need to do something. Sitting here in silence with nothing but my thoughts is worse. My thoughts keep going to dark places. Keep imagining tanks rolling over our position, crushing us. Imagine fire. Imagine bleeding out in the snow. Imagine all the ways this can end badly. Have to stop thinking like that. Have to focus. Eddie just fell asleep, somehow. Sitting up with his rifle across his lap. Exhaustion finally won. I should sleep too. Need rest. Need to be sharp tomorrow. But I can't. Too cold. Too scared. Too wired. So I sit here in the darkness, shivering, listening, waiting. Waiting for morning. Waiting for the Germans. Waiting for whatever comes next. December 20th, 1944, morning. Same foxhole. Dawn came slow, gray light creeping across the frozen fields. Fog thick enough to cut. Can't see more than 50 yards. That's bad. That's really bad. The fog hides them. Hides their movements. They could be anywhere. Stand to at first light. Everyone up. Weapons ready, eyes straining to see through the fog. Nothing happened. Just the fog and the cold and the waiting. Around 0800 the fog started to lift. That's when we saw them. Movement in the tree line. Not attacking, just there. Watching us like we're watching them. Germans. Setting up positions. Digging in. Bringing up equipment. Through Kozlowski's binoculars, I could see them. Gray uniforms. Helmets. Moving methodically. Professionally. Not scared kids like some of the Germans we fought in Normandy. These are veterans. Maybe Eastern Front troops. Men who've seen real combat. That makes them dangerous. Someone counted at least 2 companies, maybe more. And somewhere back there, hidden in the trees, are the tanks. Has to be. This is tank country. Captain Morrison called the squad leaders together. Kozlowski came back with orders. Hold position. Watch and wait. Artillery has coordinates on that tree line, but we're conserving ammunition, not firing unless they attack. Everything is about conserving now. Conserving ammunition, conserving food, conserving energy. We're on half rations as of this morning. 1 C ration can per man per day. Eddie stared at his breakfast. Half a can of hash. That's it. That's all he gets until tomorrow. He ate it in 4 bites. Still hungry after. We're all hungry. The radio is crackling. Officers huddled around it. News isn't good. I can tell by their faces. Germans are behind us, east and south. The ring is closing. Maybe by tonight we'll be completely surrounded. Eddie heard the news. He says, "What happens if we're surrounded?" I tell him we hold anyway. Don't need a supply line to hold ground. But that's a lie. We need ammunition, food, medical supplies, reinforcements. All things that require a supply line. If we're surrounded, we're on our own. Around noon, word came down officially. We're cut off. Germans completed the encirclement. Bastogne is surrounded. Some of the new guys look scared, really scared. The kind of scared that makes men break. Kozlowski walked the line, stopped at each position, gave the same speech. We're airborne. We're supposed to be surrounded. That's what we do. We jump behind enemy lines and we hold until relief arrives. This is no different. So dig your holes deeper, check your ammo, stay sharp. We're going to be fine. Good speech. Some guys looked calmer after. But I know math. I know we have maybe 200 rounds per rifle. 12 rockets per bazooka team. Enough food for 3 days if we ration carefully. How long until relief arrives? 3 days? A week? 2 weeks? The artillery is all around us now, not just one direction, all directions. They have us surrounded and they're softening us up. Shells falling on the town, on the perimeter, random. keeping us nervous, keeping us from sleeping. One shell hit a building in town, watched it collapse, dust and smoke rising. Hope nobody was in there. Hope all the civilians are in their cellars. Eddie is digging again, trying to get our hole deeper, making progress, down to maybe 3 feet now. Still not enough, but better than this morning. I'm taking a turn watching, eyes scanning the tree line, looking for movement, looking for tanks. Nothing yet, but they're out there, waiting, planning. My stomach hurts, hunger mixed with fear, mixed with stress. Haven't had a solid shit in days. Body shutting down non-essential functions. Survival mode. Mary, if you're reading this, we're surrounded. Probably won't be able to mail letters for a while. Don't worry, we're going to be fine. I'm lying to you again. Seems like all I do anymore is lie to the people I love. To protect them, to protect myself. To maintain the illusion that everything's going to be okay. But I'm scared, really scared, more scared than I've ever been, and I don't know if we're going to make it out of this. December 20th, 1944, afternoon, Foxhole. They're shelling the aid station. I can see it from here. The church where they set up, shells landing around it. Near misses. Then a direct hit on the roof. Part of it collapsed. Medics running out, carrying wounded, trying to move them to a safer location. But there is no safer location. The whole town is a target. The wounded are still there, still need care. Can't evacuate them because we're surrounded. So they're stuck, bleeding, dying, while shells fall around them. Kozlowski came by an hour ago, said we need to rotate to the aid station, help move supplies, help organize the wounded. Eddie and I went, left our position in Peterson's hands. The aid station is worse than I imagined, so much worse. It's in what used to be a church, Gothic stone building, beautiful once. Now the roof is partially collapsed, holes in the walls, blood on the stone floor, wounded men everywhere, on stretchers, on blankets, just on the bare floor, dozens of them, maybe more. The smell hit me first, blood, shit, vomit, infection, disinfectant that can't mask the other smells. It's overwhelming. Eddie gagged, put his hand over his mouth. A medic captain grabbed us. Captain Bennett, young guy, maybe 28, covered in blood, exhausted eyes. He said, "You two, help me move this man. Careful, leg wound, femoral artery damage." We carried the soldier on a stretcher. He was screaming, sobbing, saying he wanted his mother, just kept saying, "Mama, mama, mama." He was maybe 20 years old. We put him in a corner. The medic injected morphine. The soldier's eyes rolled back, stopped screaming. The medic said, "We're running low on morphine, on everything. If you two pray the supply line opens up soon." I looked around the room, counted at least 40 wounded, maybe more in other rooms. Medics working frantically, doing triage, deciding who might live, who's going to die, who gets the limited supplies. One section was covered with blankets, bodies underneath, the ones who didn't make it. I recognized one of them. His hand was sticking out. Wedding ring. I knew that ring. It was Sergeant Davis from 2nd Platoon. Good man. 3 kids back home. Now he's under a blanket in a church basement in Belgium. Eddie saw him too. His face went white. We helped move supplies for an hour, carrying boxes, organizing bandages, doing whatever the medics needed. The whole time shells kept falling outside, the building shaking, dust falling from the damaged ceiling. One shell landed close, really close. The explosion was deafening. The wounded started screaming, some of them trying to get up, trying to run even though they can't walk. The medics were talking them down, calming them, injecting more morphine even though they're trying to conserve it. Captain Bennett pulled me aside, quiet so the wounded couldn't hear. He said, "Listen, I need you to understand something. We can't evacuate these men, not while we're surrounded. So if they get wounded, they're staying here with us. You understand what I'm saying?" I nodded. He said, "So tell your squad. Tell everyone. Be careful out there. Because if you catch a bullet, you're lying on that floor with the rest of them. Limited morphine, limited supplies. Some of these men are going to die in the next few days and there's nothing I can do about it." His voice cracked when he said that. Almost broke. I said, We'll be careful, sir. He nodded, turned back to his patients. Walking back to our position, Eddie was silent, just walking, face blank. Finally, he said, "Did you see Davis?" I said yes. He said he has kids, 3 kids, and he's just lying there under a blanket. I didn't know what to say to that. He said, "That could be us tomorrow. We could be under those blankets." I said, "But we're not today, so we keep going." We got back to our foxhole. Peterson handed back my bazooka, said nothing happened while we were gone. Just waiting, always waiting. I can't get the image out of my head. All those wounded men, the ones who are going to die because we can't evacuate them, because we're trapped here. And the smell, God, the smell, it's in my nose, in my throat, can't escape it. Eddie is sitting next to me, hasn't said anything in an hour, just staring at nothing. I think the aid station broke something in him, made it all real in a way it wasn't before. Made it real for me too. The sun is setting, another night coming, another night of cold and fear and wondering if we'll see morning. How long can we do this? How long can anyone do this? December 20th, 1944, night, foxhole, first real contact tonight. Around 2200 hours, Germans probed our line, right sector, maybe 300 yards from our position. We heard it start, rifles, machine guns, then the thump of mortars, the crack of grenades, tracers flying through the darkness, red streaks cutting through the night. Beautiful and terrible. The firefight lasted maybe 15 minutes. Intense. Loud. Then it tapered off. Germans pulled back. When it was over, someone was screaming. One of ours. Hit bad. The sound cut through everything. High-pitched. Desperate. Medics ran forward, tried to get to him. German machine gun opened up. Medics had to pull back. The screaming went on for 10 minutes, then stopped. Just stopped. We all knew what that meant. Word came down the line later. Private Chen, 1st Squad, took a burst in the gut, bled out before they could reach him. 20 years old. From San Francisco. Been with the company since Normandy. Now he's dead in the snow somewhere out there in the darkness. Eddie is shaking. Not from cold this time. From something else. Fear. Realization. The understanding of how random it all is. Chen was in a good position, dug in, doing everything right, still died. There's no safety, no protection, just luck. And luck runs out. I'm thinking about Chen, about Davis, about all of them we've lost today, and this is only day 2. Only day 2 of being surrounded. How many more days? How many more names? Eddie says, "Jim, promise me something." I say what? He says, "If I die, if I don't make it, you'll find Sarah, you'll tell her I loved her, you'll tell her I was thinking about her at the end." I tell him he's not going to die. He's going to see Sarah again. He says, "Just promise me, please." So I promise. I take the photograph from him. Sarah Goldstein, Ocean Parkway, Brooklyn. I memorize the name, the address on the back. He says, "Thank you." Then he pulls out his rosary beads. His mother gave them to him, starts praying. Quiet, lips moving, fingers working the beads. I should pray too, should ask God for protection, for strength, for something, but I don't. Can't make myself do it. Don't know if God is listening. Don't know if God exists in places like this. The temperature is dropping. Can see our breath. White clouds in the darkness. My feet are numb. Have been for hours. We take turns. One sleeps while the other watches. 30-minute shifts. I'm on watch now. Eyes scanning the darkness. Looking for movement. Listening. Can hear Germans out there. Faint. Talking. Moving. Preparing for tomorrow. Tomorrow they'll come. In force. Not a probe. A real attack. And we'll have to stop them. With our shallow foxholes and limited ammunition and exhausted bodies. Eddie is asleep against my shoulder. Somehow he can sleep. His breathing slow and steady. I'm glad one of us can. I'm so tired. Tired in my bones. Tired in my soul. Want to sleep but afraid to. Afraid I won't wake up. Afraid of what I'll dream about. Mary, I'm thinking about you. About your warm bed. About your smile. About everything I'm fighting to get back to. Hope you're safe. Hope you're warm. Hope you're not worrying too much. I love you. Even if I can't come home the same man who left, I love you. That has to count for something. December 21st, 1944, morning, foxhole. Dawn came with gunfire. Not at us. South sector. Artillery first, then tanks, then infantry. Could hear it even though we couldn't see it. The battle raging a mile away. Our guys fighting. Dying. We stood to anyway, ready in case it spread to our sector. It didn't. The attack lasted 2 hours. When it was over, word came down. Germans pushed hard but didn't break through. We held. Cost us, though, 23 casualties, 7 dead, 16 wounded. Our company is down to 160 men now. Started with 183 3 days ago. The math is simple. At this rate, we won't last a week. Around 0900, Kozlowski came by. Said eat breakfast. Check weapons. Get ready. He thinks they'll hit us next. Our sector. The western approaches. That's where the roads are, where they need to push their armor. Breakfast was half a sea ration can. Beans. Cold. Thick with grease. Eddie couldn't eat his. Stomach too upset. I made him eat it anyway. Forced him. He needs the calories. After, we checked the bazooka. Cleaned it, made sure it's functioning, organized our rockets. 6 in my pack, 6 in Eddie's, 12 total. 12 chances to stop German tanks. Kozlowski gave us 2 more rockets. From another team whose gunner got wounded yesterday, now we have 14. He said, make them count. We're not getting resupplied anytime soon. I said, yes, Sergeant. He looked at me, really looked at me. Said, Mallory, you're a good gunner, one of the best I've got. When they come, I need you calm, steady. Pick your shots. Don't waste rockets on half-track or light vehicles. Wait for the heavies. The Panthers, the Panzer IVs. The ones that'll break our line if we don't stop them. I told him I understood. He said, Eddie, you're a good loader, fast, accurate, but I need you focused. When those tanks come, it's going to be loud, scary, chaotic. You focus on one thing, loading that rocket. Nothing else matters. You understand? Eddie nodded. Yes, Sergeant. Kozlowski clapped us both on the shoulders, said, good men, I'm proud to serve with you. Then he moved on to the next position. That scared me, the way he said it, like he was saying goodbye, like he knows what's coming and he's making his peace. Around 1100 we heard them. Engines, diesel engines, deep rumble, getting closer. Everyone tensed up. Weapons ready, eyes on the tree line. Then we saw them. 2 Panzer IVs, coming up the road. Slow, careful. Infantry behind them, using the tanks for cover. Not a big attack. Reconnaissance in force. Testing our defenses. Seeing what we've got. Kozlowski signaled us, me and Eddie. Corporal Hinton and his loader, Rodriguez. 2 bazooka teams. We moved, left our foxholes, low, fast, using the terrain for cover, circling around to get to side shots. The plan was simple. Let them come into the kill zone. Hit them from both flanks simultaneously. Confuse them. Make them panic. We got into position 70 yards from the road, behind a fallen tree. Good cover, good line of sight. Eddie loaded a rocket. M6A3, high explosive anti-tank. His hands were steady. Good. Across the road, 50 yards away, I could see Hinton's team. In position. Ready. The first Panzer rolled past us. 30 tons of steel. Turret traversing, machine gun sweeping, looking for targets. The second Panzer followed. That was our target. I waited, let it get parallel to our position, side hull exposed, where the armor is thin, 30 millimeters. Our rocket can punch through that. I aimed. Center mass ditch just behind the front road wheel, where the fuel tanks are, where the ammunition is stored, breathed out slow, squeezed the trigger. The rocket left the tube with a whoosh and a roar. Backblast kicked up snow and dirt behind us, 60 feet of flame and smoke. The noise incredible. The concussion hitting me in the chest. The rocket flew straight, 300 yards per second. Covered the distance in a fraction of a second. hit right where I aimed. The explosion was massive, louder than thunder. The Panzer jerked like something kicked it. Orange flame erupted from the impact point, then black smoke. Secondary explosion. We hit the ammunition, the tank shuddered, flames pouring out of the hatches. The crew hatch popped open. 2 men climbed out, fast, desperate. One of them was on fire, his uniform burning. He jumped off the tank, rolled in the snow, screaming, the sound cutting through everything, high-pitched, inhuman. The other crew member tried to help him, tried to put out the flames. Our infantry shot them both. The burning man stopped screaming, just stopped, lay there in the snow, smoking. The first Panzer's turret spun around, machine guns searching for us, bullets tearing through the trees above our heads. We were already moving, running low. Eddie right behind me, zigzagging, staying low. Hinton's team fired at the first Panzer, hit it in the side turret. The rocket hit but didn't penetrate, bounced off, the armor too thick, too sloped. The Panzer's main gun fired, high explosive shell, hit right where Hinton's team had been. The tree exploded, splinters flying like shrapnel, the concussion knocking me down. When the smoke cleared, I saw him, Hinton, on the ground, not moving. Rodriguez was screaming, holding his arm, blood everywhere. The Panzer started backing up, retreating, the infantry with it, pulling back. We'd stopped them, 2 Bazooka teams, stopped 2 tanks and their supporting infantry. But the cost. I ran to Hinton, Eddie behind me, other guys converging. Hinton was dead. Machine gun burst caught him across the chest. Must have happened when he stood up to run. The bullets tore him apart. His eyes were open, staring at nothing, blood on his lips, on his uniform, soaking into the snow. I reached out, closed his eyes, hands shaking. Around his neck were rosary beads, Catholic, like mine, like my mother gave me. I took them off. Carefully, blood on the chain, on the beads, wiped them on my uniform. In his pocket was a letter, addressed to his wife, Margaret, in Georgia. I took that too. Someone needs to send it to her. Rodriguez was still screaming. Medics ran up, started working on him. His arm was mangled, shrapnel, maybe broken. They wrapped it, gave him morphine, took him away. Kozlowski came over, looked at Hinton, looked at me. He said, "You did good, Mallory. Both of you. You stopped them." I couldn't answer, just nodded. He said, "Get back to your position. They'll try again." We went back, Eddie and me, dragging the bazooka, our boots heavy, our bodies heavier. Back in the foxhole, Eddie threw up, bent over, heaving. Nothing coming up but bile. He hasn't eaten enough to vomit. When he finished, he looked at me, his face white, his eyes wide. He said, "Did you see him? The German, the one on fire. Did you see him?" I said, "Yes. I saw him." He said, "Oh God, oh Jesus Christ, we did that. We burned him alive." I didn't know what to say, so I gave him my canteen, told him to drink, told him it's okay, told him first time is always hard, but I'm lying again. It's not okay. It's never okay. I can still see him, the German soldier, rolling in the snow, on fire, screaming. I can still hear him, the sound, that terrible sound. We killed him, Eddie and me. We aimed that rocket. We fired. We burned him alive. That's what we do now. That's what we are. Killers. Sitting here now writing this. My hands won't stop shaking. Can barely hold the pen. Hinton is dead. Good man. Good soldier. Had a wife. Had a baby daughter he'd never met. Now he's wrapped in a shelter half behind the aid station. Frozen solid. We're down to 13 rockets. 11 in our packs. 2 Kozlowski took back from Hinton's team. How many more tanks are out there? How many more times will we have to do this? I'm wearing Hinton's rosary beads now. Under my shirt. Against my skin. They're still cold. Still have his blood on them. I should pray. Should say something for him. Some kind of blessing. But I can't. The words won't come. So I just sit here. In this frozen hole. In this foreign country. Wearing a dead man's rosary beads. And I wonder how much longer until I'm the one wrapped in a shelter half. December 21st, 1944, afternoon, Foxhole. Haven't written in a few hours. Too busy, too exhausted. The Germans hit us twice more after the morning attack. Small probes. Testing, seeing where we are, how strong. No tanks the second time, just infantry. Our machine guns handled them. We didn't need to fire. The third time, they brought mortars. Walked fire across our line. 3 men got hit. 1 dead, 2 wounded. The dead man was Private Jackson. 3rd Squad. From Alabama, 23 years old. Mortar round landed right in his foxhole. Direct hit. There wasn't enough left to wrap in a shelter half. That's what mortars do. High explosive. Shrapnel, concussion, turn human beings into pieces. Eddie saw it happen. Saw Jackson just disappear in a cloud of smoke and dirt. He's not talking anymore. Just sitting there, staring, eyes blank. I recognize that look. Shock. The mind trying to process too much horror too fast. It shuts down, goes somewhere else. I've seen it before, in Normandy. Some guys snap out of it, some don't. I need Eddie functional, need him able to load rockets when the time comes, so I slapped him, hard, across the face. His head snapped back, eyes focused. He looked at me, surprised, hurt. I said, "Stay with me. I need you here, need you focused." He nodded slowly. I gave him a cigarette, lit it for him. He smoked it, hands still shaking but present. Back with me. Kozlowski came by an hour ago. Brought news, radio contact with command. The Germans issued an ultimatum. They want us to surrender, honorable terms. They say resistance is pointless. They say we're surrounded, outnumbered, running low on supplies. They say if we don't surrender, they'll destroy the town and everyone in it. They gave us until noon tomorrow. Noon on December 22nd. Eddie heard this. He said, "What are we going to do?" I said, "We're going to fight. We're not surrendering." He said, "But maybe they're right. Maybe it is pointless. Maybe we should..." I cut him off. Said, "You want to go to a German prison camp? Spend the rest of the war in a cage? Maybe get worked to death? Maybe shot trying to escape? That's what you want?" He shook his head. I said, "Then we fight. We hold. Relief is coming. Patton's Third Army. They're breaking through. We just have to hold until they get here." I don't know if that's true. Don't know if Patton's coming. Don't know anything except we're not surrendering. Eddie nodded, said, Okay, we fight. Good. Need him believing. Need him committed. The sun is setting. Another night coming. They say it's going to be the coldest night yet. Temperature dropping to near 0. Maybe below. We don't have winter clothes. Nobody does. Just regular fatigues. Field jackets. That's it. Men are wrapping themselves in blankets. In parachute silk from supply drops. In anything that might provide insulation. Eddie and I are sharing body heat again, pressed together in the foxhole. Can't stop shivering. My feet are beyond numb now. Can't feel them at all. That's bad. That's frostbite territory. But there's nothing I can do about it. Can't build a fire. Can't leave the line. Just have to endure. I'm thinking about Mary, about warm things, her hand in mine, walking through town on a summer day, ice cream at Murphy's drugstore, sitting on her porch, fireflies in the darkness. All of it so far away, so impossible now. The Germans are singing again. Can hear them faintly. Carols. Christmas songs. Strange to hear that. Enemy soldiers singing about peace and goodwill. In 3 days it'll be Christmas Eve. 3 days. If we're still alive. If we haven't been overrun. Some Christmas this will be. Eddie is asleep. Somehow. Exhaustion finally won. His head on my shoulder. Breathing shallow but steady. I should sleep too. Need rest. Tomorrow the Germans will give us their answer, and it won't be surrender terms. It'll be tanks, artillery, infantry, everything they've got, and we'll have to stop them. With our shallow holes and dwindling ammunition and frozen bodies, God help us. December 21st, 1944, night, foxhole, can't sleep, too cold, too wired, too afraid. The temperature keeps dropping. Eddie and I are pressed so close together we're practically one person, still shivering, still freezing. My teeth won't stop chattering, jaw hurts from clenching, trying to stop the noise, don't want to give away our position. Around midnight we tried something desperate, started doing exercises in the foxhole, flexing muscles, moving arms and legs, anything to generate heat, generate blood flow, helped a little, maybe. Or maybe I'm just telling myself that. Eddie whispered, "Tell me about Scranton. Tell me about home." So I did. Whispered about my neighborhood, about the houses with their narrow porches, about the coal breakers on the horizon, about the smell of the mines, about walking to work at Woolworth's every morning, about the lunch counter where I'd grab coffee and a donut, about Mary, about her father's bar, about the regulars who'd sit there every night telling the same stories, about Mary behind the bar laughing, pouring drinks, making everyone feel welcome, about summer evenings, about baseball games in the park, about the church picnics, about simple, normal, boring life. Eddie listened, said, "Sounds nice. Sounds real nice." I said, "What about you? Tell me about Brooklyn." He talked about his neighborhood, about the Italian bakery on the corner, about the sounds of the city, trains overhead, kids playing stickball in the street, his mother hanging laundry from the fire escape, about Coney Island, about taking Sarah there, the boardwalk, the ocean, Nathan's hot dogs, the rides, the crowds, about simple things, good things, things we might never see again. We talked for maybe an hour, quiet, just keeping each other company, keeping each other sane. Then we heard something, movement out there in the darkness, close, maybe 100 yards away. We both froze, listening. Voices, German voices, faint, moving parallel to our line, patrol maybe, or scouts, counting our positions, mapping our defenses. We didn't move, didn't breathe, just listened as they passed. When the sounds faded, Eddie whispered, "They're planning something, something big." I said, "I know." He said, "We're going to die here, aren't we?" I wanted to lie, to tell him everything would be fine, that we'd make it home, that we'd see our girls again, but I couldn't. The lie wouldn't come, so I said, maybe we will, but we're taking a lot of them with us." He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "I'm glad I'm here with you. I'm glad I'm not alone." I told him I'm glad too, told him he's a good soldier, a good friend, that I'm proud to serve with him. He started crying, quiet, trying not to let me hear, but I felt him shaking. I put my arm around him, let him cry, didn't say anything, just let him get it out. After a while he stopped, wiped his face with his sleeve, said, "Sorry." I said, "Don't be sorry." Said, "We all need to cry sometimes." Said, "There's no shame in it." Around 0300 the shelling started. Not at us. At the town. Sustained bombardment. Shells falling every few seconds. The sound continuous. The ground shaking. They're trying to break our morale. Trying to soften us up before tomorrow. Before they deliver their answer to the surrender demand. The answer we already know. The answer written in high explosive and steel. No, we won't surrender. And neither will they. So we'll keep killing each other until enough of us are dead. That's war. That's all war has ever been. I'm so tired. Tired of being cold. Tired of being scared. Tired of death. Want it to stop. Want to go home. Want to hold Mary. Want to sleep in a warm bed. Want to eat hot food. Want simple things. But there's no stopping. Not yet. Not until this is over. One way or another. Eddie is asleep again. His breathing slow, his body still shaking from the cold even in sleep. I should sleep too. Tomorrow is coming. Tomorrow with its tanks and bullets and blood. But I can't. Can't close my eyes without seeing Hinton. Without seeing that German soldier on fire. Without seeing Jackson disappear in a cloud of smoke. So I sit here. In the darkness. In the cold. Writing by feel. Writing to stay sane. To stay human. To remember who I was before all this. Mary, I love you. If I don't make it home, know that I loved you, that I thought of you every day, that you were the good thing I was fighting to get back to, and if I do make it home, I'm sorry. Sorry for what I've become. Sorry for the things I've done. Sorry for the nightmares I'll bring with me. But I promise I'll try. Try to be a good husband. Try to build a life with you. Try to be more than what this war has made me. That's all I can promise, that I'll try. December 22nd, 1944, morning. Foxhole. Dawn came and they didn't attack. That's worse somehow. The waiting. The knowing it's coming, but not knowing when. The ultimatum deadline is noon. 4 hours away now. General McAuliffe's response came down around 0800. Someone read it out loud. Nuts. That's it. One word. The general's answer to the German surrender demand. Nuts. The men cheered. Actually cheered, slapping each other on the back, laughing, like it's funny, like we just won something. Eddie was smiling. First time I've seen him smile in days. Other guys too. Manning, Williams, Peterson, all grinning, energized. The officers are making speeches about American defiance, about how we don't surrender, about how we're the 101st Airborne and we've never been beaten. Kozlowski walked by, saw me not cheering, stopped. He said, "What's wrong, Mallory?" I said, "Nothing, Sergeant." Good answer from the general. He looked at me, really looked at me, said, "But?" I said, "But it's easy for a general to say nuts when he's in a warm headquarters drinking hot coffee. We're the ones in frozen foxholes with limited ammo and no winter gear. We're the ones who have to back up that word with our lives." Kozlowski was quiet for a moment, then he nodded. He said, "You're right. It is easier for him. But you know what? That's the job. His job is to make the decision. Our job is to execute it. And that one word, that's the right decision. The only decision. We give up this town. The Germans split our army in half. Then we lose the war, so we don't give up, no matter what." I said, "Yes, Sergeant." He said, "And Mallory, when those tanks come, when it gets bad, you remember something. You're not doing this for McAuliffe, not for Eisenhower, not for any general. You're doing it for the man next to you, for Eddie, for the squad, for getting home. That's what matters. That's what you hold on to." Then he moved on. He's right. I know he's right. But it doesn't make the fear go away. Doesn't make the cold stop. Doesn't bring back Hinton or Jackson or Davis. Around 0900 we got rations. Full can this time, not half. Special order from command. Eat well before the battle. I had hash. Eddie had beans and franks. We ate slowly, making it last. Might be the last hot meal we get for a while. Might be the last meal period. After, we checked weapons, again. Cleaned the bazooka, again. Organized rockets, again. 13 left, unlucky number. Eddie arranged them in his pack, carefully, like he's arranging flowers, making sure they're secure, making sure they won't shift, making sure everything is perfect. He's scared but focused. That's good. Fear keeps you sharp if you channel it right. The sun is out. First sun in days. Weak winter sun, but sun nonetheless. Feels good on my face. Almost warm. Strange. On a day when men are probably going to die, the sun decides to shine. Nature doesn't care about human wars, about human suffering. The sun shines, the cold freezes, the world turns, indifferent to all of it. I'm thinking about the German soldiers out there, in their positions, waiting just like us, probably just as cold, just as scared, just as far from home. They have mothers, fathers, girls they love, lives they want to return to, but in a few hours we'll be trying to kill each other, not because we hate each other personally. Most of us have never met, will never meet except in combat. We'll kill each other because men in offices far away decided we should, because of borders, because of politics, because of things that seem very far away and abstract when you're sitting in a frozen foxhole. Eddie says, "What are you thinking about?" I say, "Nothing, everything, I don't know." He says, "Me too." We sit there, watching the tree line, watching the clock, watching our lives tick away toward noon, toward the moment when the killing starts again. December 22nd, 1944, afternoon, foxhole. It's past noon. They didn't attack. The deadline came and went. Noon, 1200 hours. The time they said that they'd destroy us if we didn't surrender. Nothing happened. We sat here, tense, ready, weapons aimed, hearts pounding, nothing. The men started to relax a little, started to think maybe the Germans were bluffing, maybe our defiance worked. Then at 12:30, out of 12:30, the artillery started. Not random shells, not harassment fire, everything. Every gun they have. Concentrated bombardment. Systematic destruction. The shells are falling on the town, on our positions, on everything. The earth shaking, the air filled with the scream of incoming rounds, the explosions continuous, overlapping, creating one endless roar. I've been in artillery barrages before, Normandy, Holland, but nothing like this. Nothing this sustained, this heavy. The ground is literally jumping, dirt and snow raining down, trees exploding, foxholes collapsing. Eddie and I are pressed into the bottom of our hole, arms over our heads, curled as small as possible, trying to become invisible, trying to survive. The sound is beyond describing, beyond comprehension. It fills everything, your ears, your chest, your bones, your soul. There's no room for thought, no room for anything except pure animal fear. A shell landed 30 yards away. The concussion sucked the air from my lungs. Couldn't breathe. Gasping. Choking. Eddie is screaming. Can see his mouth open. Can't hear him over the explosions. Just see him screaming. Another shell. Closer. 20 yards. The foxhole filled with dirt. Choking on it. Can't see. Can't breathe. Clawing at the dirt. Trying to get air. Trying not to be buried alive. Eddie pulled me up. Got my face clear. I sucked in air, coughing, spitting dirt. The shelling went on, and on, and on. 30 minutes, felt like hours, felt like eternity. Then it stopped, just stopped. The silence almost as shocking as the noise. Ears ringing so loud I can't hear anything else. Can't hear Eddie even though he's right next to me shouting something. I shook my head, trying to clear it, trying to hear, just ringing, constant tone. Then I heard it. Faint. Under the ringing. Engines, tanks, they're coming. Kozlowski was running down the line, yelling, can barely hear him. Get ready, here they come. I grabbed the bazooka. Eddie grabbed rockets. We moved. Out of the foxhole, to our pre-planned position, flanking spot, 30 yards to the left, behind better cover. We got there, set up. Eddie loaded. Then I saw them. Panthers. 3 of them. Coming up the road. Massive. 45 tons each. Long 75mm guns. Thick sloped armor. Behind them infantry. Panzer grenadiers. Maybe 100 of them. Using the tanks for cover. Moving in short rushes. Professional. Coordinated. This isn't a probe. This is a real attack. They're trying to break through. Our machine guns opened up. Tracers streaking toward the German infantry. Some of them went down. Others kept coming. The lead Panther fired. High explosive. Hit a foxhole on our left. Direct hit. The men in it just vanished. Gone. The other Panthers started firing. Systematically. Working down the line. Each shot destroying a position. Killing our men. We have to move. Have to flank them. Can't let them roll up the line. I signaled Eddie. We moved. Low and fast. Circling through the woods. Getting behind the Panthers. Getting a side shot. Another bazooka team was moving too. Corporal Hinton. Wait. No. Hinton's dead. Who's that? Davis. No. Davis is dead too. I can't think straight. The ringing, the fear, everything confused. It's Peterson. Corporal Peterson from 3rd Squad. He's got a bazooka now. His loader is Williams. They're moving to the other flank. Good. 2 teams, 2 chances. We got into position, 70 yards from the road, behind a cluster of rocks. Good cover, clear line of sight. Eddie loaded, hands steady, good kid, good loader. The lead Panther was 50 yards away, turret turning, looking for targets, machine gun firing, tracers everywhere. I aimed, side hull, behind the drive sprocket, where the fuel is, where the engine connects, breathed, focused, blocked out everything else. Just me and the tank and the shot. Fired. The rocket hit. Punched through. Flame and smoke. The Panther lurched. Kept moving for a few seconds. Then stopped. No crew got out. Either dead inside or too scared to expose themselves. The second Panther's turret swung toward us. Fast. That long gun lining up. We moved. Ran. The main gun fired. The shell hit where we'd been. The rocks exploded. Shrapnel everywhere. Something hit my leg. Sharp pain. Hot. I stumbled, kept moving, adrenaline blocking it out. Eddie was yelling, "You're hit, you're bleeding," I yelled back. "Keep moving." We got behind a fallen tree, relative safety. I looked down, shrapnel in my left calf, not deep, bleeding but not bad. Can still move, can still fight. Across the killing ground, Peterson's team fired, hit the second Panther, side turret. The rocket bounced off, armor too thick, too sloped. The Panther's machine gun raked their position. Peterson went down. Williams too. Both hit. The third Panther was advancing, getting closer to our line, 30 yards, 20 yards, about to overrun our positions. Someone fired a bazooka from point-blank range, maybe 15 yards, suicidal distance, hit the Panther in the tracks, through the track. The tank slewed sideways, stopped, immobilized. The crew bailed out, our infantry shot them. The German infantry was pulling back. Without tank support, they can't advance. They're falling back to regroup. The attack is over. For now. We held, but the cost. I can see bodies, ours, scattered across the field. In the foxholes, some moving, some not. Medics are running forward, trying to reach the wounded, trying to save who they can. Kozlowski is yelling for situation reports, counting who's left, who's combat effective. My leg hurts, really hurts now. The adrenaline wearing off. I can feel the shrapnel grinding against bone when I move. Eddie is looking at it, his face pale. He says, "You need a medic." I say later, after we check on Peterson and Williams. We move to their position, slow, my leg dragging. Peterson is dead. Machine gun burst across the chest. Eyes open, gone. Williams is Ali. Barely. Gut wound, bleeding bad. He's conscious, looking at me, trying to say something. I lean close. He whispers, "Tell my mom. Tell her I tried. Tell her I did my best." I say, "You tell her yourself. You're going to make it." He tries to smile. Can't quite manage it. Then his eyes go unfocused. He stops breathing, just like that. 20 years old, from Ohio, now dead in Belgium. Medics arrive. Too late. They move on, looking for the living. Eddie is sitting down, back against a tree, staring at Williams, at Peterson, at all of it. I sit next to him, my leg throbbing, blood soaking through my pants. We don't talk, nothing to say, just sit there among the dead and wait for the next attack, because it's coming. This wasn't the big push. This was just the beginning. December 22nd, 1944, evening. Aid station, then back to Foxhole. Kozlowski made me go to the aid station, my leg. Said I couldn't fight with shrapnel in it. Said get it treated. So Eddie and I went. Left Dombrowski watching our position. The aid station is worse than before. So much worse. Packed with wounded from the attack. Men on every surface. On floors, on pews, on the altar. The smell is overwhelming. Blood, infection, death. The sweet sick smell of gangrene. Can't escape it. It's everywhere. Captain Bennett saw me, pointed to a corner, said, "Sit, I'll get to you." I sat. Eddie sat next to me. We waited. All around us, men are crying, screaming, dying. The medics are working frantically, triaging, deciding who gets morphine, who gets surgery, who gets covered with a blanket and moved to the dead section. A kid next to me, maybe 18, was hit in the face, lower jaw gone. He's trying to talk, making sounds, horrible sounds. A medic gave him morphine, lots of it, more than normal. The kid's eyes went glassy, breathing slowed, stopped. The medic moved on to the next patient. Mercy killing, that's what it was. The kid was going to die anyway. Couldn't eat, couldn't drink, would suffocate on his own blood eventually. So the medic ended it, quietly, peacefully. Nobody said anything. Nobody even looked. That's how it is now. Too many dying, too few morphine syrettes. Sometimes ending the suffering is the kindest thing you can do. After 30 minutes, Bennett came over, looked at my leg, cut away the pants, examined the wound. He said, "You're lucky. Missed the bone, missed the artery. But I need to get the shrapnel out." I said, "Do it." He pulled out forceps, no anesthesia, no morphine. They're saving that for worse cases. He said, "This is going to hurt." It did. He dug into the wound, pulling out pieces of metal, hot pains shooting up my leg. I bit down on a piece of leather, trying not to scream, trying not to embarrass myself. Eddie held my hand, squeezed it. Bennett pulled out 3 pieces, dropped them in a dish with a clink, then poured sulfur powder into the wound, burning, everything burning, wrapped it with a bandage, said, "Keep it clean, change the dressing daily. If you see red streaks, infection is spreading. Come back immediately." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You're going back to the line?" I said, "Yes, sir." He looked at me, tired eyes, sad eyes. He said, "Of course you are. We all are. Until we're dead or they relieve us." Then he moved to the next patient. Walking back, my leg was stiff, painful, but functional. Can still move, can still fight. That's all that matters. We got back to our position. Dombrowski had our stuff organized. Bazooka cleaned, rockets ready. Good man. He said, "How bad?" I said, "Flesh wound. I'm fine." He nodded. Didn't believe me, but didn't push. The sun is setting now. Another night coming. 4th night of being surrounded. Our company is down to 130 men. Started with 183 4 days ago. 53 casualties. 29% attrition rate in 4 days. At this rate, we'll be combat ineffective in a week. Won't have enough men to hold the line, but we hold anyway. Because that's the mission. Hold until relief arrives. Relief. Patton's Third Army. That's what they keep saying. Patton is coming, breaking through German lines, racing north to save us. But when? Today? Tomorrow? Next week? How many of us will be alive when he gets here? Eddie says, "Jim, your leg. Are you really okay?" I say, "Yeah, I'm okay. Just hurts." He says, "You should rest. I'll take first watch." I tell him, "Okay, try to sleep, close my eyes," but I can't sleep. Too much pain, too much adrenaline still in my system. Too many images behind my eyelids. Williams trying to smile, Peterson staring at nothing. The kid with no jaw making those sounds, all of them gone, all of them dead, and I'm still here, still breathing, still fighting. Why? Why them and not me? What makes me special? What makes me deserve to live when they don't? There's no answer. There's never an answer. Just randomness. Just luck. Just fate. Eddie is on watch, scanning the darkness. Rifle ready. I'm writing by feel. Can barely see the page. Just need to write. Need to remember I'm human. Need to remember there's more to existence than killing and dying. Mary, I'm so tired. Tired in ways I didn't know were possible. Not just physical. Soul tired. Heart tired. I don't know how much more of this I can take. How much more any of us can take. But we keep going. Because what else is there to do? We keep going. December 23rd, 1944, morning, Foxhole. The sky cleared. I woke up at dawn and the impossible happened. The clouds were gone. The fog was gone. Just clear blue sky and weak winter sunshine. For the first time in a week, we can see, really see, more than 100 yards. We can see the German positions, their artillery, their assembly areas, everything, and they can see us. But more importantly, the planes can see us. Around 0900, we heard them, faint at first, then louder. Engines, multiple engines, high altitude. Everyone looked up, shielding eyes against the sun, searching. Then someone yelled, "There! Up there!" C-47s, transport planes, dozens of them, maybe more. Flying in formation over the town. Beautiful sight, most beautiful thing I've ever seen. The cargo doors opened, parachutes bloomed, hundreds of them. White canopies, colored canopies, red, blue, yellow, drifting down like flowers falling from heaven. Supplies. The men went crazy, cheering, shouting, some guys crying, actually crying from relief. Eddie was jumping up and down, yelling, laughing. First time I've seen him happy in days. The parachutes landed everywhere, some in the town, some on the perimeter, some in no man's land. A few landed in German territory and we had to watch them take the supplies, but most landed in our area. Kozlowski was yelling, "Move! Move! Grab everything! Get it under cover!" We ran. Everyone ran, grabbing bundles, dragging them back to the line, like kids scrambling for Easter eggs. Eddie and I grabbed one that landed maybe 50 yards from our position. Big canvas bundle. Heavy. We dragged it back, tore it open. Ammunition, rockets for the bazooka. M6A3. 8 of them. Beautiful cylinders, perfectly packed, plus regular rifle ammunition, grenades, bandoliers, but also other things. Cigarettes, chocolate bars, coffee, real coffee, sugar, canned fruit, luxury items, life-saving items. Eddie held up a Hershey bar like it was the Hope Diamond, his hands shaking. He broke it in half, gave me half. We ate it slowly, let it melt on our tongues, sweet, rich, perfect. I can't remember the last time I tasted chocolate. Can't remember the last time I tasted anything good. All morning the planes kept coming, wave after wave, hundreds of aircraft, thousands of parachutes. It's like watching the hand of God reaching down to save us. Some planes got hit by German anti-aircraft fire, saw one take hits, smoke trailing, but it kept flying, completed its drop, then banked away toward friendly territory, don't know if it made it. And then the fighters came, P-47s, Thunderbolts, big, ugly, beautiful planes. They dove on German positions, guns blazing, 500-pound bombs dropping, the ground shaking from explosions. One Thunderbolt came in so low I could see the pilot. He waggled his wings, like saying hello, like saying, "We're here. You're not alone." I wanted to cry. From relief, from gratitude, from knowing we might actually survive this. The Germans are getting hammered, their artillery positions exploding, their tank concentrations burning, their assembly areas scattered. For hours the fighters worked, hitting everything they could find. Then they'd fly off to rearm and refuel, then come back, again and again. The sound of those engines, the roar of those guns, it's the most beautiful sound in the world. Kozlowski came by around noon, grinning. Actually grinning. First time I've seen him smile since this started. He said, "Now it's a fair fight, boys. Now we've got a chance." He dropped off more rockets. 4 of them. Said we're finally resupplied. Said make them count, but don't worry about running out. More supplies coming. We now have 21 rockets, 21 chances to kill German tanks. The men are energized, moving with purpose, cleaning weapons, organizing supplies, eating real food. Eddie is whistling, actually whistling, some tune I don't recognize. He's cleaning his rifle, smiling. I'm sitting here in the sunshine, weak winter sun, but sun nonetheless, eating a can of peaches, real peaches in syrup, sweet, delicious, reminding me that good things exist in the world. My leg still hurts, but it's manageable. The bandage is clean, no red streaks, no infection yet. For the first time in days, I feel hope, real hope, not the desperate kind you cling to in the darkness, but actual belief that we might make it through this. The Germans will attack again, tonight or tomorrow. They have to. They're committed. They've come too far to give up now. But we're ready. We're resupplied. We're supported. We're not alone anymore. Mary, if you could see this, the sky full of parachutes, the planes overhead, the men's faces, the hope returning. It's like we've been drowning and someone just pulled us up for air. We're going to hold. We're going to survive. I'm going to see you again. I believe that now. Really believe it. December 23rd, 1944, evening. Foxhole. Christmas is tomorrow. Christmas Eve tonight. The men are talking about it. About home. About what they'd be doing if they weren't here. Church services. Family dinners. Presents under trees. All the normal things that seem impossibly far away. Eddie says his family does the Feast of the 7 Fishes on Christmas Eve. 7 different seafood dishes. Italian tradition. He's describing each one in detail. The bacala, the calamari, the scungilli, his mother's special red sauce, the spaghetti with clams. He's making himself miserable with the descriptions, but he can't stop talking. Like if he talks about it enough, he can make it real, can transport himself there. I'm thinking about Mary, about her father's bar. They'd have a small tree in the corner, colored lights, tinsel. Her mother would make sugar cookies, cut into shapes, stars, trees, angels, frosted with white icing. Mary would wear her green dress, the one with the lace collar. She'd have her hair curled, red lipstick. She'd be behind the bar, pouring drinks, laughing with the regulars, making everyone feel like family. At midnight, we'd go to Mass, Cathedral of St. Peter, candlelight service, the choir singing, silent night, oh, holy night. The church packed with people, everyone dressed in their best, everyone together. After, we'd walk home through the snow, cold, but not this kind of cold, good cold, Christmas cold, her hand in mine, our breath visible in the air, stars overhead, simple things, normal things, things I took for granted. God, I miss it. Miss all of it, miss normal life. I'm writing a letter. In my head, I mean. Can't actually write it, not the real one, the honest one. Dear Mary, I've killed so many men I've lost count. I've watched friends die. I've been cold for so long I can't remember what warm feels like. I'm afraid all the time. I'm starting to wonder if the person you fell in love with still exists. Can't write that. Can't send that. So instead I'll write about the weather, about the supplies dropping, about Eddie and his stories. I'll tell her I miss her, that I love her, that I'm thinking of her, all true, but not the truth. The truth is I'm changing, becoming something else, something harder, something that might not fit back into normal life. The truth is I don't know if I can go back to Scranton, back to Woolworths, back to stocking shelves and taking inventory, back to caring about things that seem so small now. The truth is this war is marking me, permanently, and I don't know what that means for us. Eddie is watching me. He says, "You thinking about your girl?" I say yes. He pulls out Sarah's photograph, even though we can barely see it in the gathering darkness. He looks at it anyway, like a prayer, like a talisman. He says, "You think they're thinking about us?" I say, "I'm sure they are." He says, "You think they'd still love us? If they knew? If they really knew what we're doing here? What we've become?" That's the question, isn't it? The one that keeps me awake at night. Would Mary still love me if she knew? If she really understood what I've done? What I'm capable of? I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. I say, yeah, I think they would. Love doesn't stop just because things get hard. He nods, wants to believe it, needs to believe it. He says, after this is over, after we get home, you and Mary should come visit Brooklyn, meet Sarah. We'll take you to Coney Island, show you around, have a good time. I say I'd like that. He says, promise me. Promise we'll do that. Promise we're both going to make it home and do that. I promise. Even though I can't promise. Even though neither of us knows if we'll see tomorrow, let alone home. But he needs the promise. Needs something to hold on to. So I give it to him. Around 1900 hours, something happened. Something strange. Something I'll never forget. The Germans started singing. Faint at first. Distant. Then louder, coming from their positions in the tree line, maybe 200 yards away. Stille Nacht, silent night, the German version. The men on our line stopped talking, listening, this eerie sound drifting across no man's land, the enemy singing about peace and holy nights. Then someone on our line started singing, in English, silent night, holy night. Someone else joined in, then another. Pretty soon half the line is singing, same song, different language, both sides, all is calm, all is bright, nothing is calm, nothing is bright. We're in the middle of a battle, in the middle of a war. People are dying, but we're singing about peace. I looked out toward the German positions, swear I could see them, shadows moving, men standing, listening, singing. We're going to kill each other tomorrow, but tonight we're singing the same carol about the same Savior. Eddie is crying, quiet, trying not to let me see, tears running down his face. I put my arm around his shoulders, let him cry. My throat feels tight, my chest hurts. I want to cry too, but I can't. It's like something inside me is broken, frozen, can't access the emotions anymore. The singing goes on for maybe 10 minutes, then slowly fades, both sides going quiet. The silence after is profound, heavy, like we all realize what we just did, what we just shared. this moment of humanity in the middle of inhumanity. Eddie says, "They're just like us, aren't they? The Germans. They're hot, they're scared, they want to go home." I say yes, they are. He says, "Then why are we killing each other?" I don't have an answer. There's an answer somewhere. About politics, about borders, about things bigger than us. But none of it makes sense when you're sitting in a frozen hole singing the same songs as the men you're trying to kill. So I just say I don't know. We sit there in the darkness, the cold seeping into our bones. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow the Germans will probably attack again. Tomorrow more men will die. But tonight we shared something, this brief moment of peace, this acknowledgement that we're all human, all suffering, all far from home. Mary, I don't know if I can explain this to you. I don't know if anyone who wasn't here could understand. The surreal horror, the random beauty, the way death and hope exist side by side. But I want you to know I tried. I'm trying to stay human, to stay good, to protect the men next to me, to do what's right in a situation where everything is wrong. I hope that's enough. I hope when I come home, if I come home, that you can see past what I've become to what I'm still trying to be. I love you. That hasn't changed. Won't ever change. No matter what happens tomorrow, no matter how this ends, I love you. December 24th, 1944, morning. Christmas Eve. It's quiet today, relatively quiet, some artillery, some small arms fire, but nothing like the past few days, nothing like the sustained attacks. It's strange, unsettling. The quiet is almost worse than the noise, because you keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the attack. The silence filled with anticipation and dread. The chaplain is holding services, Protestant at 1000 hours, Catholic at 1100 for Christmas Eve. Eddie and I went to the Catholic service, left our position in Dombrowski's hands, walked into town, to what's left of the church. The church is worse than before, the roof half gone now, snow drifting through the holes, pews shattered by shrapnel, stained glass windows blown out, stone walls pockmarked with bullet holes, but there's still an altar, still a crucifix hanging, Christ on the cross, looking down at us, about 40 of us crammed in there, soldiers, some wounded men from the aid station who could walk, a few civilians, old women mostly, wrapped in blankets, faces hollow from fear and hunger. We knelt on the stone floor, frozen stone, so cold it hurts through your pants, can feel it in your knees, in your bones. The chaplain is Captain Walsh, same guy from before, young, maybe 30, from New Jersey. He has this calm voice, this peaceful demeanor, like he's not scared at all, like he knows something the rest of us don't. He said Mass, Latin and English mixed together, the familiar words, the ancient ritual, Our Father who art in heaven, Hail Mary full of grace. I was saying the words, mouth moving, but not feeling them, like I'm reciting lines from a play, like they're just sounds without meaning. At communion I went up, took the host, body of Christ, amen, put it on my tongue, let it dissolve. This piece of bread that's supposed to be God, supposed to be salvation. I wanted to feel something, anything, presence, peace, grace, connection, nothing, just empty, hollow, like I'm going through motions, like I'm performing faith without actually having it. After the service I stayed, sitting in a pew. The other men filed out, back to their positions, back to war. I sat there looking at the crucifix, Christ hanging there, dying, suffering. The chaplain came over, sat down next to me, didn't say anything for a minute, just sat. Then he said, "How are you holding up, son?" I said, "Fine, Father." He looked at me, right in my eyes. He said, "No, you're not. But that's okay. None of us are fine. This isn't a place where people are fine." I asked him if God is here, in this place, in this war, because I can't feel him, can't sense him, can't believe he'd let this happen if he was actually present. The chaplain was quiet for a long time, looking at the crucifix, thinking. Finally he said, "I believe God weeps for us. I believe he's present in our suffering even if we can't feel him. I believe he's in the men who share their rations, in the medics who risk their lives to save the wounded, in the moments of beauty we find in terrible places." I wanted to believe that, tried to believe it, But all I could think was, if God is here, if God is real, why doesn't he stop it? Why doesn't he just make it stop? Why does he let good men like Kozlowski and Hinton and Williams die while I keep living? The chaplain must have seen it on my face. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said, faith isn't about understanding. It's not about having all the answers. It's about showing up. It's about putting one foot in front of the other even when you can't see the path, even when you doubt, especially when you doubt. He gave me a blessing, made the sign of the cross over me, said, "Go in peace, Corporal Mallory, and know that you are seen, you are known, you are loved." Then he moved on to talk to someone else. I sat there for another few minutes, alone in the ruined church, looking at Christ on the cross, thinking about suffering, about sacrifice, about what it means to endure. Maybe that's all faith is, not feeling God, not having certainty, just enduring, just continuing, just refusing to give up even when everything says you should. Maybe that's enough. I got up, walked back to the foxhole. Eddie was waiting. He said, "How was it?" I said, "I don't know, different, the same. I don't know." He nodded, said he felt the same way, like going through the motions, like the words don't quite reach anymore. We sat there, checking weapons, organizing supplies, preparing for whatever comes next. Around noon, the company got hot food, actual hot food, turkey and gravy, mashed potatoes, some vegetables, even pie, apple pie. The cooks worked miracles, somehow cooked it all in the field kitchens, brought it up to the line in insulated containers, still hot when it arrived. We ate it with our hands, scooping it out of mess kits, too cold to taste much, but it was warm, solid. Real food. Eddie couldn't stop smiling. He said, "It's just like home." Well, sort of. If home was a frozen hellhole in Belgium. Some guys laughed. First real laughter in days. Kozlowski came around with coffee. Real coffee from the supply drop. Hot, strong. He poured it into our canteen cups. Said, "Merry Christmas, boys." We raised our cups. Said Merry Christmas back. He made a speech. Short one. About being grateful. About being alive. About being together. He said, "We're spending Christmas in a place none of us want to be, doing things none of us want to do. But we're doing it together. We're holding. We're surviving. And tomorrow we're going to wake up and still be here. And that's something to celebrate." Some guys raised their cups again. To being alive. To being together. To making it one more day. I raised mine too. But inside I'm thinking, for how long? How much longer can we do this? How many more days? How many more nights? The Germans are still out there. Still planning. Still preparing. This quiet won't last. Tonight is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas Day. Days that should be about peace, about family, about hope. Instead, we'll spend them in frozen holes, killing and dying, waiting and watching. Some Christmas this will be. December 24th, 1944, night, Christmas Eve. They're singing again, both sides, louder than last night, more voices, like everyone decided to participate, like for one night we can pretend we're not enemies. "Oh, Tannenbaum, oh, Christmas tree." The Germans sing it in German, we sing it in English, back and forth, trading verses, then Stille Nacht, silent night. Everyone's singing together, same words in different languages, same melody, same longing for peace, silent night. Holy night. All is calm, all is bright, the irony is crushing, nothing is calm, nothing is bright. We're in the middle of a siege, in the middle of a war. Bodies frozen in the snow between our lines, and we're singing about peace on earth. Eddie fell asleep with his head on my shoulder. He's smiling in his sleep. I wonder what he's dreaming about. I hope it's Sarah. I hope it's Brooklyn. I hope it's somewhere warm and safe. I should sleep too. Need rest. Tomorrow might bring another attack, but I can't. Too wired. Too cold. Too aware of the absurdity of it all. I'm thinking about this time last year. Christmas Eve 1943, I was still in the States, training at Fort Benning, preparing to ship out, but they gave us Christmas Eve off. Some guys went into town, some stayed on base. I went to the post chapel, sat through midnight mass, thinking about Mary, about home, about the war I was about to enter. I was scared then, scared of combat, scared of dying, scared of the unknown, but it was a clean fear, simple, straightforward. Now the fear is different, complicated, mixed with exhaustion and resignation and something that might be acceptance. Not acceptance that I'll die, acceptance that I might, acceptance that there's nothing I can do about it except keep going. The singing is getting quieter now, fading, both sides running out of songs, or energy, or will. The last song is O Holy Night. Our side starts it. The Germans join in where they know the melody even if they don't know the words. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. I'm on my knees. We're all on our knees. In frozen dirt. In desperation. In fear. But I don't hear angel voices. I hear artillery in the distance. I hear men coughing. I hear the wind through shattered trees. The song ends. Silence falls. Heavy. Complete. Eddie stirs. Opens his eyes. Says, "Is it morning?" I say no. Still night. Still Christmas Eve. Go back to sleep. He closes his eyes. Drifts off again. Young enough to sleep. Innocent enough still. Despite everything. I envy him that. I'm too old now, not in years, in experience, in what I've seen, what I've done. I'm 22, feel like I'm 60. Mary, it's Christmas Eve. I'm sitting in a frozen hole in Belgium thinking about you, thinking about your father's bar, about the tree with the colored lights, about your green dress, about midnight mass, about walking home through the snow with your hand in mine. All of it so far away it might as well be a dream, something I imagined, something that never really existed. But it did exist. It was real. And if I survive this, if I make it home, maybe it can be real again. Maybe we can have Christmas Eves again. Normal ones. Warm ones, with trees and cookies and mass and walking home through clean snow. Maybe we can build a life. Have kids. Grow old together. Do all the boring, normal, beautiful things we planned. Maybe. If I survive. If I don't change too much. If you can still love what I've become. So many ifs. But tonight, on Christmas Eve, I'm going to believe in maybe. Going to believe in the possibility. Going to hold on to hope. Because without that, what's the point? Why keep fighting? Why keep enduring? I'm fighting for maybe. For the possibility of normal life. For the chance to grow old with you. That's enough. That has to be enough. Merry Christmas, Mary. I love you. December 25th, 1944, early morning, Christmas Day. They came at dawn. I was half asleep when the artillery started. Not gradual. All at once, like the entire German army fired every gun simultaneously. Merry Christmas. Here's your present. High explosive and shrapnel. Death wrapped in steel. The ground shook so hard I thought it would split open. Trees exploded into splinters. Foxholes collapsed. Men were screaming before the first shell finished falling. Eddie was up instantly, grabbing gear, loading rockets into his pack, his training kicking in, hands moving automatically even though his eyes are wide with terror. Kozlowski was running down the line, yelling over the explosions. "Get ready! Here they come! This is it!" The artillery went on for 30 minutes. Felt like hours. Felt like eternity. Shells landing so close the concussion sucked the air from my lungs. Couldn't breathe. Gasping. Choking on smoke and dust. Then silence. That terrible silence, worse than the noise, because you know what's coming next. I heard them before I saw them. The diesel engines, the clank of treads on frozen ground, the rumble of approaching death. Panthers, tigers, Panzer IVs, I don't know how many. 5, 7, 10? Couldn't count. Too much smoke. Too much chaos. Behind the tanks, infantry. Hundreds of them. Panzer grenadiers. Running low, using the tanks for cover. Professional. Coordinated. Determined. This isn't a probe. This is the big push. Everything they have. They're trying to break through, trying to take Bastogne, trying to win. Our machine guns opened up. Rifles. Everything. The whole line erupting in fire. Tracers streaking across the snow. The sound deafening. The tanks started firing. High explosive shells into our positions. One hit a foxhole 30 yards to our left. Direct hit. The two guys in it just vanished. 1 second there. Next second gone. Just a crater and smoke. Another shell hit the tree behind us. The tree exploded. Trunk shattered. branches falling, splinters flying like knives. Kozlowski grabbed me, pointed at a panther, 200 yards out, closing fast, main gun firing, machine gun raking our line. He yelled, "That one! Stop that one!" We moved, me and Eddie, staying low, using what cover we could find. The panther getting closer, 150 yards, 100, got into position 70 yards from its path. Eddie loaded a rocket, his hands shaking now, but he got it in, locked it, tapped my shoulder, ready. The panther rolled closer. 50 yards, 40, side armor exposed. I aimed, just behind the drive sprocket, where the hull is thin, where the fuel tanks are, fired, direct hit. The rocket punched through, flame and smoke poured from the hole. The panther lurched, kept moving for a few seconds. Engines screaming, then stopped. Engines died. Nobody got out. Crew either dead or too scared. We moved again, fast, because now they knew where we were. Another bazooka team got hit, saw Jensen go down, his loader too, machine gun fire from a Tiger. Both men falling, not moving. There was a Tiger now, massive thing, 56 tons of armor and death, too thick for frontal shots. We'd have to flank it. We were moving when Kozlowski's voice cut through the chaos. "Second squad, fall back to secondary line. They're breaking through on the right." We ran, bent low, bullets cracking over our heads, shells exploding, men screaming. The Germans had broken through, penetrated our line, were behind some positions, rolling them up. Kozlowski was there, in the middle of it, organizing, directing fire, getting men into position, leading a counterattack. He was magnificent, fearless, moving from position to position, rallying the men. His Thompson firing, taking down Germans, creating order from chaos. Then he went down. A burst of machine gun fire caught him, across the chest, stitched him from left to right. He dropped, just like that. No dramatic fall, no slow motion death, just dropped like someone cut his strings. I ran to him, stupid. Should have stayed in cover. But I ran, bullets everywhere, the air full of lead. But I reached him, dropped down next to him. He was still alive, looking up at me, blood on his lips, bubbling, lung shot, maybe heart. He was trying to say something. I leaned close, trying to hear over the battle. He said, Get them out. Get your boys out. I said, "I will, Sergeant, I promise." He said, "Good man, Mallory. Good man." Then he stopped breathing. Just stopped. 1 second he's looking at me. Next second he's gone. Eyes still open but nobody inside. Just an empty shell. I closed his eyes. Took his pocket watch from his uniform, his binoculars, his dog tags. Someone needs to send them home. Someone was pulling me. Eddie, screaming at me to move, dragging me back. We made it to the secondary line, reformed there, held. The fighting went on for hours. Hours. Lost track of time, just loading and firing and moving. Loading and firing and moving. Destroying tanks, killing infantry, trying to stay alive. I destroyed 2 more Panthers. Eddie loaded perfectly every time. Never dropped a rocket. Never hesitated. The kid has become a real soldier, baptized in blood and fire. Around noon, the Germans started pulling back, not retreating, just pausing, regrouping. They'd hit us hard. We'd hit them harder. They needed to reorganize. We used the lull to count casualties, to reorganize, to prepare for the next wave. Our company is decimated, down to 90 men. Started with 183 6 days ago, 93 casualties, 51%, more than half gone. My squad started with 12, now we have 7. Kozlowski, Jensen, Morrison, Campbell, Rizzo, all dead. Eddie is wounded, shrapnel in his shoulder, not deep but bleeding. He won't go to the aid station, says they need the space for worse cases, says he's fine. I wrapped it with a field dressing, poured sulfur powder on it. That's all I can do. He's running a fever, can see it in his eyes, in his flushed face. The wound is probably infected already. In this cold, in these conditions, with these supplies, he needs real medical care. Antibiotics, a hospital. But we're still surrounded, can't evacuate him. So he sits here, in the foxhole, fever rising, infection spreading, and there's nothing I can do. I'm in command now, me, Corporal Mallory, in charge of 6 guys, 6 exhausted, terrified, wounded men. I don't know what I'm doing, don't know how to be Kozlowski, don't know how to lead, don't know how to keep them alive, but I have to try. Because that's what Kozlowski asked me to do. Get them out. Get your boys out. So I'll try. The snow around us is red, black in places where fire burned. The trees are shattered stumps, bodies everywhere. Ours and theirs, frozen in death, twisted in unnatural positions. This is Christmas Day, the day of peace, the day of goodwill toward men. Instead, we spent it killing each other, burning each other, destroying each other. Merry Christmas. God forgive us. God forgive all of us. December 25th, 1944, night. Christmas night. I can't write much. My hand won't work right, shaking too hard. From cold, from exhaustion, from shock. Eddie is asleep. Fever worse. He's talking in his sleep, saying Sarah's name over and over, sometimes crying out, from pain or nightmares or both. I gave him water, made him eat some chocolate. That's all I can do. He needs a doctor, needs medicine, needs things I can't give him. If he dies, if the infection spreads, if I lose him, I can't think about that. Kozlowski is dead, good man, best sergeant I ever knew. He taught me everything, how to shoot, how to lead, how to survive. Now he's wrapped in a shelter half behind the aid station, frozen solid, just another body in the row. I'm wearing his watch now, along with Hinton's rosary beads, carrying dead men's belongings. That's what I am. I keep seeing him fall, keep hearing what he said. Good man, Mallory. Am I a good man? I don't know. I don't know what good means anymore. I kill people. I burn them alive in their tanks. I shoot them. I watch friends die and I keep going. I've become hard, cold, efficient. Is that good? Is that what it means to be a soldier? There are men I didn't know this morning who are dead now. Men I talked to, shared coffee with, dead. How many Germans did we kill today? 20? 30? More? I lost count. Just kept firing, kept loading, kept killing. They were trying to kill us. We were trying to kill them. That's all. That's the whole thing. That's war. Simple, brutal, meaningless. I'm so tired. Everything hurts. My eyes won't focus right. My leg wound is throbbing. Every breath is painful. But I can't sleep, can't stop, can't rest, because if I stop, if I let down my guard, we all die. So I sit here, in the darkness, watching, waiting. Mary, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. For leaving, for changing, for becoming this. I don't know if I'm coming home. Don't know if any of us are. But if I do, if I survive this, if I see you again, please try to understand. Please try to love me anyway. Please try to see past what I've had to become to what I'm still trying to be. I'm still in here somewhere. Under all this. Under the killing and the fear and the hardness. I'm still Jim from Scranton. Still the guy who worked at Woolworth's. Still the guy who loved you. I'm still here. I hope. December 26th, 1944, afternoon. Perimeter. The siege is broken. I heard tank engines around 1400 hours. Everyone tensed up. Ready for another attack. Weapons aimed. Hearts pounding. But these engines sounded different. Not the diesel rumble of Panthers. Something else. Higher pitched. Familiar. Then I saw them. Sherman tanks. American M4 Shermans. Coming up the road from the south. Our tanks. Our guys. 4th Armored Division. Patton's 3rd Army. They punched through the German lines. They're here. The men were cheering, hugging each other, some crying, actually crying from relief. The lead Sherman stopped. The commanders stood up in the turret. Young lieutenant, maybe 25. He looked at us, at our condition, at what 6 days of siege did to us. He yelled, "You guys look like shit." Someone yelled back, "We feel like shit." Everyone laughed. Actually laughed. First real laughter since this started. The tanks kept coming, dozens of them, half-tracks, trucks, infantry, a whole column, breaking the siege, Opening the corridor, supplies started flowing immediately. Ammunition, food, medical supplies, fuel. Everything we've been rationing. Everything we needed. The siege is over. 20 days surrounded. 20 days of hell. We held. Against everything. Against all odds. We held. I should feel something. Relief, joy, pride, victory, anything. I feel nothing. Just empty. Hollow. Numb. Kozlovsky didn't make it. Hinton didn't make it. Jensen. Morrison. Campbell. Rizzo. Williams, Peterson, Jackson, Davis. All the others whose names I'm already forgetting. They didn't make it. Half our company didn't make it. The price of holding was 93 men. 93 casualties. 93 families who'll get telegrams. 93 mothers who'll open their doors to see army officers with sad eyes. We held. But at what cost? Eddie is smiling even though his shoulder looks bad, even though his fever is high, even though he can barely stand. He keeps saying, we made it, Jim, we're alive. But I made him go to the aid station, made the medics look at him. His wound is badly infected. They need to evacuate him, get him to a real hospital. He argued, said he's fine, said he's staying with me, with the squad. I told him he's going, told him his war is over, told him he's going home. He started crying, said he doesn't want to leave me, doesn't want to abandon the squad. I said, you're not abandoning anyone. You did your job. You were the best loader I ever had. Now you get to go home. Go see Sarah. Go live your life. I gave him the letter I wrote to Mary, told him if he makes it to England, mail it for me, the sanitized version, the one that doesn't tell the truth. I gave him Hinton's rosary beads, told him to give them to Sarah, to wear them at the wedding, to remember, to honor the dead. He grabbed my jacket, pulled me close, said, you're coming home too. You hear me? Don't you dare die now. Come home, be my best man. Meet Sarah, you promised. I said yes. I lied again. I don't know if I'm coming home. Don't know if I'll see next week. But he needs to believe it. Needs to leave believing we'll see each other again. They're loading him onto an ambulance now. Him and a dozen other wounded, stretchers and walking wounded. All being evacuated. He's looking back at me. Waving. I'm waving back. The ambulance is pulling away. Down the road, through the corridor, towards safety, toward home. And I'm still here. We're still here. The Germans are still out there. Beaten back, but not beaten. Still fighting, still dangerous. This isn't over. The siege is lifted, but the battle continues. The war continues, and we continue. Because that's what we do. We continue until we can't anymore. Until we're dead, or this war ends. Whichever comes first. December 27th through 30th, 1944. Combined entry. Same sector. The fighting didn't stop when Patton's tanks arrived. The Germans are still trying to take Bastogne, still attacking, still dying, still killing us. We've been in constant contact for 4 days. December 27th. They hit our sector with a full panzer company, 6 Panthers, supporting infantry. We destroyed 3, lost 5 more men. December 28th. Artillery duel all day. Their 88s versus our 105s. We huddled in foxholes while the world exploded around us. Couldn't move, couldn't fight back, just endure. December 29th. We went on the offensive. Orders from command. Push out from the perimeter. Clear German positions. Take back ground. We advanced through the woods. House to house, fighting in some villages. Close quarters, brutal, terrifying. I destroyed 2 more tanks. Panzer IVs, my team is efficient now. Me and Dombrowski, my new loader, kid from Chicago. 18 years old, fresh-faced when he arrived, not anymore. We load, aim, fire, move. We do it without thinking, without hesitation. Like breathing. Like our bodies know what to do even when our minds shut down. December 30th. Cold so deep it hurts to breathe. More casualties, frostbite, pneumonia, combat wounds. The war grinds on, relentless, uncaring. Dombrowski is learning fast, too fast, getting harder, quieter. The eyes changing. War does that. Takes something from you, something you can't get back. On the 29th, During a German counterattack, he froze. Just froze. Standing there with a rocket in his hands, not moving, Panzer bearing down on us, 75mm gun tracking toward our position. I slapped him. Hard. Across the face. Yelled at him to load the fucking rocket. He snapped out of it. Loaded. I fired. Hit the Panzer in the side. Penetrated. Secondary explosion. The tank brewed up. Crew didn't get out. We lived. After, Dombrowski apologized. Said he was sorry. Said he'd do better. Said it won't happen again. I told him everyone freezes the first time. Told him to forget about it. Told him he did fine. But I scared him. I saw it in his eyes. I scared my own man. Became the hard sergeant who slaps soldiers. Became Kozlowski. And Kozlowski is dead. I'm becoming someone I don't recognize. Hard. Cold. Quick to anger. Efficient at killing. Good at my job. I hate it. Hate what I'm becoming. But I can't stop. Can't be soft. Can't be kind. Because soft gets people killed. Kind gets people killed. Hard keeps them alive. Mean keeps them sharp. Fear keeps them focused. So I'm hard. I'm mean. I use fear. Because that's what works. That's what Kozlowski taught me. That's leadership in combat. At night I can't sleep. I close my eyes and I see faces. Hinton. Kozlowski. The German on fire. Eddie bleeding. Dombrowski's face when I slapped him. When I do sleep, the dreams are worse. Tanks rolling over me, crushing me, fire everywhere, screaming, always screaming. I wake up gasping, heart racing, covered in sweat even though it's freezing. Dombrowski has nightmares too. I hear him thrashing, calling out. We don't talk about it. What's there to say? We're all breaking. In different ways, at different speeds. But we're all breaking. Today I got a letter. From Eddie. He's in a hospital in England. They're treating the infection, surgery, antibiotics. He's going to be okay. He's going home. He wrote, Jim, you saved my life 12 times. I'm going home. I'm going to see Sarah. I'm going to ask her to marry me. When I do, I'm going to wear Hinton's rosary beads, just like you said. Sarah came to visit. I don't know how she managed it, but she's here. She said yes before I even asked. She was crying. I was crying. The whole ward was crying. We're getting married in March. Small ceremony. I wish you could be there. You're the best man I know, the best friend I've got, Jim. Please come home. Please. The war has to end soon. Just hold on. Just survive. Come home and be my best man. Come home and meet Sarah. Come home and be Uncle Jim to our kids. Don't you dare die on me now. Your brother Eddie. I read it 3 times. Then I walked away from the squad so they wouldn't see me cry. I sat behind a knocked-out German half-track and I cried like a child. Great heaving sobs. Couldn't stop. Couldn't control it. Not from sadness. From something else. Relief. Happiness. Grief. Exhaustion. Everything mixed together. Pouring out. Eddie made it. He's going home. He's getting married. He's going to have a life. A real life. Beyond war, beyond killing, beyond all this, one of us made it out. When I came back, Dombrowski looked at me, saw my face, red eyes, tear tracks, didn't say anything, didn't ask, just handed me coffee. Later I showed him the letter, told him about Eddie, about Bastogne, about carrying him, about keeping him alive. He said, You think we'll make it out like that? I said, I hope so. I don't know. I hope. He said, I want to go home, Sarge. I want to see my mom. I want to eat her cooking. I want to sleep in my own bed. I want to forget all this. I told him we all want that, but I don't know if we can forget. Don't know if going home means leaving this behind. I think we carry it with us forever. All the faces, all the names, all the bodies frozen in the snow, all the things we've done, all the things we've seen, we carry them home, in our heads, in our hearts, in our nightmares. We carry the war inside us, even after the shooting stops. January 3rd, 1945. Western approaches Bastogne perimeter. The Germans aren't giving up. They launched another major attack today, trying to break through our lines, trying to retake Bastogne. One more push. One more try. A Tiger tank and a company of Panzer Grenadiers hit our position at dawn. A Tiger, 56 tons, 10.5 centimeter gun, armor so thick our rockets are almost useless from the front, 150 millimeters frontal, 80 millimeters side. Nothing we have can touch the front. We had to flank it. I took Dombrowski and we circled through the woods, moving fast, staying low. Using every bit of cover, the Tiger was focused on our main line, firing that massive gun, each shot destroying something, each shot killing someone. Didn't see us coming. We got into position 25 yards behind it. 25 yards. Close enough to read the tactical numbers painted on the armor. Close enough to see the exhaust ports. Close enough to die if anything goes wrong. Dombrowski loaded the rocket. His hands were shaking. Mine too. This close. If we miss, if the shot doesn't penetrate, that turret swings around and we're dead. One shot. That's all we get. I aimed for the engine deck. Thin armor there. 25 millimeters. Where the engine is. Where the fuel is. Where everything vital sits under thin steel. One shot. I breathed out. Squeezed the trigger. The rocket hit exactly where I aimed. Punched through the engine deck. Fire and smoke erupted from the hole. The engine screamed. Metal grinding. Something breaking. The Tiger lurched forward. Engines howling. Then stopped. Everything died. The crew bailed out. 3 men. Hatches popping. Men climbing out fast. Desperate. Running. Our infantry got 2 of them. Third one made it to cover. My hands were shaking so bad after I dropped the bazooka. Just dropped it. Couldn't hold it anymore. Dombrowski was staring at the Tiger, at the smoke, at the bodies, at what we did, at how close we came to dying. I grabbed him, shook him, told him we had to move, now. Before German infantry sees us, before they exact revenge, we ran. German infantry was everywhere, small arms fire, grenades, mortars, chaos, pure chaos. The kind where you stop thinking, stop planning, just react, move, shoot, survive. We made it back to our line, collapsed in a foxhole, both of us breathing hard, hearts hammering. Dombrowski was hyperventilating, breathing too fast, too shallow. I thought he was going to pass out, turn blue, die right there from panic. I grabbed his face, made him look at me, told him to breathe slow, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in, out, in, out. He calmed down eventually, started crying, kid crying, shoulders shaking, trying not to make noise. I let him cry. Put my arm around his shoulders. Didn't say anything, just let him get it out. After a while he said 25 yards. We were 25 yards from that tank. I said, yeah, we were. He said, I thought we were dead. I was sure we were dead. I was saying goodbye in my head, to my mom, to everyone. I said, but we're not dead. We're alive. That's what matters. We're still here. He nodded, wiped his face, tried to pull himself together. The kid is learning, getting harder, tougher, more efficient. Like we all do, like war makes us. I hate that I'm the one teaching him. Hate that this is what he has to become to survive. After the battle, one of the new guys, Peterson Jr., came up to me. He's the younger brother of Peterson who died on Christmas. Arrived as a replacement 2 days ago. He said, Sergeant, I saw what you did. That Tiger kill. That was the bravest thing I've ever seen. I told him it wasn't brave. It was necessary. Brave is something else. Brave is charging machine guns. Brave is throwing yourself on grenades. This was just doing the job, just trying not to die. But I don't know what brave is anymore. Maybe brave is just being scared and doing it anyway. Maybe that's all any of us are doing, being terrified and doing it anyway because someone has to. We're down to 9 rockets now. Need resupply soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully before they attack again. January 5th, 1945. Pushing east from Bastogne. We're going on the offensive. Orders came. Down yesterday. The German assault has stalled. They're out of fuel, out of momentum, out of time. Now it's our turn. Now we push them back. Now we take back what they took. We're attached to a task force. Tanks, infantry, tank destroyers, artillery, bazooka teams, everything combined, working together, pushing east, clearing German positions, taking back ground. It feels different, attacking instead of defending, moving forward instead of huddling in holes, being the hammer instead of the anvil, but it's still killing, still dying, still war. Today we destroyed 2 Panzer IVs, caught them in a crossfire with another Bazooka team. They never had a chance. Hit them from both sides simultaneously, both tanks burning, crews dead inside. Efficient, professional, clean kill. That's what we've become. Professional killers, good at our job. We're moving through areas that saw heavy fighting earlier in the battle. The bodies are still there, frozen. Ours and theirs. Nobody's had time to bury them. Nobody's had time to care. They look like statues, like wax figures. Some of them have their hands up, like they died trying to surrender or shield themselves, like their last action was futile, useless, human. Their eyes are open, glazed, covered in frost, staring at nothing, seeing nothing, empty. Dombrowski threw up when we passed a group of dead Germans, 5 of them in a foxhole, killed by artillery probably. Shell landed right in their position. All tangled together, parts missing, frozen blood, frozen flesh. I didn't say anything. First time seeing the dead up close does that to you, makes you realize, makes you understand, makes you sick. We're sleeping in abandoned positions, German foxholes. Their equipment is still here. Photographs, letters, personal items, all the things they carried. I found a photograph in one foxhole, German soldier with his family, wife, 2 little girls, maybe 5 and 7 years old, everyone smiling, happy, normal. I wonder if he's one of the frozen bodies we passed. I wonder if his wife knows yet. I wonder if those little girls still have a father. I put the photograph back where I found it, carefully, reverently, like it matters, like anything matters. Dombrowski asked me if I feel bad, killing Germans, burning them in their tanks, shooting them when they run. I told him I try not to think about it. If you think about it too much, you can't do it. And if you can't do it, you die. So you don't think. You just do. You just survive. He asked me if that's wrong, if we're wrong, if what we're doing is murder dressed up as war. I said I don't know. I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. I just know we're here, and they're here, and we're killing each other until one side gives up or runs out of men. That's all. That's war. That's the whole thing. Kill or be killed. Survive or die. Nothing more complicated than that. He was quiet after that. Thinking, processing, becoming harder. The squad is functioning well. We've got a rhythm now. Everyone knows their job. Trust each other. Move together. Fight together. A machine made of humans. Efficient, deadly. But we're tired. So tired. Weeks of fighting. Weeks of cold. Weeks of fear. Weeks of dying. It wears on you. Grinds you down. Takes pieces you can't get back. How much longer? How much longer can we keep this up? How much longer can anyone do this? January 7th, 1945, rest area, east of Bastogne. I got a letter today from Eddie. He's recovering in England. Shoulder healing well. Infection gone. Surgery successful. They're sending him home. To the States. To Brooklyn. To Sarah. He wrote, "Jim, I can't believe it. I'm going home. Actually going home. I keep thinking it's a dream and I'm going to wake up in that frozen foxhole with you next to me." Sarah came to visit me in the hospital. I don't know how she managed it, but she did. She was wearing Hinton's rosary beads, just like you said, around her neck, against her heart. I asked her to marry me right there in the hospital ward, in front of all the other guys. She said yes. She said she'd been waiting for me to ask since before I shipped out, since before everything. We're getting married in March. Small ceremony. Her family, my family. Father O'Brien from our parish. Simple, beautiful, real. I'm wearing those rosary beads at the wedding. I told Sarah about Hinton, about his wife Margaret, about his daughter, about how you took them off his body, about how you gave them to me, about how they saved my life somehow, protected me. She cried when I told her. She said we'll name our first son after him, Thomas. If you think his wife wouldn't mind, if you think it would honor him, Jim, please come home. Please. The war has to end soon. Germany is collapsing. Everyone says it's a matter of months now. Just hold on. Just survive. Just make it a little longer. Come home and be my best man. Come home and meet Sarah properly. Come home and be Uncle Jim to our kids, to all the kids we're going to have, the life we're going to build. You promised me in Bastogne. You said we'd both make it home. You said we'd go to Coney Island together. Don't you dare break that promise. Don't you dare die on me now, your brother Eddie Slovak. I read it 3 times. Then I walked away from the squad so they wouldn't see me cry. Again, second time in a week, second time breaking down. I sat behind a knocked-out German half-track and I cried. Not great heaving sobs this time. Quiet crying, tears running down my face, dripping into the snow. Eddie made it. He's going home. He's getting married. He's naming his son after Hinton, after a man who died in the snow, after a soldier who gave everything. One of us made it out. One of us gets to have a life. When I came back, Dombrowski looked at me, saw my face, didn't say anything, just moved over, made room, let me sit. Later I showed him the letter, told him about Eddie, about carrying him through Bastogne, about keeping him alive, about sending him home. He said, "You think we'll make it out like that?" I said, "I hope so. I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can to get us home, to get all of us home." He said, "I want to go home, Sarge. I want to see my mom. She makes this pot roast with potatoes and carrots, slow cooked, falls apart when you touch it. I dream about that pot roast. I dream about sitting at her kitchen table eating it." He said, "I want to sleep in my own bed, with clean sheets, without worrying about artillery, without wondering if I'll wake up." He said, "I want to forget all this. I want to be who I was before I killed people, before I saw friends die, before all this." I told him we all want that. We all want to go back, to be who we were, but I don't think we can. Don't think going home means leaving this behind. I think we carry it with us, forever. All the faces, all the names, all the bodies, all the killing, all the dying. We carry the war inside us, in our heads, in our hearts, in our sleep. In every quiet moment when the memories come flooding back, we carry it home, and we learn to live with it, or we don't. That's the choice. Live with it or don't. Survive the war only to lose the peace. I hope we can live with it. I hope we're strong enough. I hope we find ways to build lives anyway, despite everything, because of everything, I hope. January 9th, 1945. Same rest area. The Battle of Bastogne is officially over. The Germans have pulled back, retreating east. The bulge they created in our lines is collapsing, shrinking, disappearing. We held. That's what matters. Against everything. Against overwhelming odds. Against logic. We held. The 101st Airborne is being pulled off the line. Finally. After 3 weeks of continuous combat. After 20 days of siege. After all of it. We're getting actual rest. Hot food every meal. Clean uniforms. Medical treatment for everyone who needs it. Showers. Real beds. Civilization. Or what passes for civilization in war. I made the men take off their boots. Inspect their feet. Check for frostbite. Half of them have it. Black toes. White patches that don't feel anything. Dead tissue. The medics are worried. Some guys might lose toes. Maybe whole feet. Amputations. For the rest of their lives, they'll walk with a limp. They'll remember Bastogne every step they take. All from the cold. From weather. From sitting in frozen holes for days without proper gear. Without winter boots. Without anything except determination. I'm taking inventory. Of everything. What we started with. What we have left. What we lost. Equipment. We started with 14 rockets. Used 43 during the battle. Received, resupplied twice. Destroyed confirmed 11 German tanks. Probably more that we didn't see the results of. More that burned or were abandoned. Personnel. Company C started the battle with 183 men. We have 91 now. 92 casualties. 50.3%. More than half gone. Dead. 41. Killed in action. Blown apart. Burned. Shot. Frozen. Gone. Wounded. 51. Evacuated. In hospitals. Going home or going back to duty depending on severity. My squad started with 12. We have 6. 7 counting me. Gone. Kozlowski. Hinton. Jensen. Morrison. Campbell. Rizzo. And others whose names I'm forgetting. God help me, I'm already forgetting names, forgetting faces. They're blurring together, becoming a mass of dead instead of individuals. I need to remember them, each one, who they were, where they were from, what they cared about, but it's getting harder, memory protecting me, or memory failing me. I don't know which. Survivors, me, Dombrowski, Peterson Jr., Williams, Jackson, O'Connor. That's it. 7 men from an original 12. We're mostly replacements now. New guys who arrived after Bastogne started. After the worst of it. They wear the same uniform, carry the same weapons, but they don't have the same look, the same 1,000-yard stare, the same hollowness. The old guys, the ones who jumped into Normandy, most of them are gone, dead or wounded or broken, scattered across Europe, left behind in fields and forests and frozen towns. I keep thinking about Kozlowski, about that last thing he said. Good man, Mallory, good man. I hope he was right. I hope I'm a good man. I hope I've led well. I hope I've honored his memory. But I don't feel good. I feel empty, hollowed out, like everything human has been scraped away, leaving just this shell, this thing that kills efficiently, this machine that survives. Is that good? Is that what he meant? I'm wearing his watch, Hinton's rosary beads, carrying their memory, carrying their weight. They trusted me. They believed in me. They died believing I would carry on, would lead, would survive. I hope I've honored that trust. Tonight there's a memorial service for everyone we lost. The chaplain is holding it in what's left of that church, the one where we attended Mass on Christmas Eve. I'm going to go. Pay respects. Say goodbye. Even though I never got to say goodbye when it mattered. Even though goodbye happened in seconds, in explosions, in bullets, in silence. I'm going to go, and I'm going to remember. Each name, each face, each person who didn't make it home. That's all I can do now, remember, and keep going. For them, for Eddie, for Mary, for everyone who's counting on me. Mary, we won. We held. We survived. The Battle of Bastogne is over. We're victorious. But it doesn't feel like winning. It just feels like we're still here and they're not. Like we paid too much, lost too much, gave too much, 50% casualties, 41 dead, 51 wounded. That's the price of holding. That's the cost of victory. I don't feel victorious. I feel like a survivor. Like someone who got lucky. Like someone who should have died but didn't for reasons I can't explain. Survivor's guilt. That's what the psychiatrist called it when he interviewed me yesterday. Said it's normal. Said all survivors feel it. Said it'll fade with time. I don't think it will. I don't think time heals this. Time just teaches you to live with it. To function despite it. To keep going even when the weight threatens to crush you. So I'll keep going. For them. For everyone who can't anymore. That's all I can do. January 15th, 1945. Mormelon, France. Rest area. We're out of the line. Pulled back to France. Actual rest. Real rest. Away from the front. Away from the guns. Away from the dying. There are beds here. Actual beds with mattresses and blankets and pillows. Clean sheets. Soft, warm, safe. It should feel like heaven. I can't sleep in them. I tried last night. Lay down in an actual bed for the first time in months. Pulled the covers up. Closed my eyes. Lasted maybe an hour, maybe less. Too soft, too warm, too safe, too different. My body doesn't know what to do with safety anymore. Doesn't trust it. Doesn't believe in it. I got up, took my blanket outside, lay down in the dirt next to the building. Cold ground, hard ground, familiar ground. Fell asleep immediately. Dombrowski found me this morning. Didn't say anything, just looked at me. Understood. Lay down next to me with his blanket. He couldn't sleep inside either. Too soft, too quiet, too safe. We lay there in the cold dirt and slept better than we had in weeks. Bodies knowing what to do with hardship, not knowing what to do with comfort. The nightmares are bad. Worse now that we're out of the line. Worse now that we're safe. Like our minds held it together during the crisis. Suppressed everything. Kept us functional. Now that we're safe, everything comes flooding back. Every time I close my eyes, I'm back there. The snow, the cold, the tanks. Kozlowski falling. Hinton dying. The German on fire. Eddie bleeding. Dombrowski freezing, the endless explosions, the endless death. I wake up gasping, heart pounding, drenched in sweat even though it's freezing outside, taking minutes to remember where I am, when I am, that it's over, that I survived. Dombrowski has them too. I hear him thrashing in his sleep, calling out, names, warnings, screaming sometimes. In the morning we don't talk about it. What's there to say? We all have them. We all see the same things. We all carry the same ghosts. There's a psychiatrist here, Captain Brennan. He's interviewing men, asking about their experiences, looking for ones who need to be sent home for combat exhaustion, for being broken, for not being able to continue. I'm avoiding him. If I talk to him, if I tell him what's really in my head, he might pull me off the line, might send me home, might end my war. Part of me wants that, wants to go home, wants to see Mary, wants to be done with killing, done with death, done with all of it. But I can't leave. Not yet. Not while my squad needs me. Not while there are men depending on me. Not while the war continues. Kozlowski told me to get my boys out, to get them home. That's my mission now. Get them through this. Get them to the end. Get them home alive. So I avoid the psychiatrist. Avoid the questions. Keep my head down. Keep functioning. Keep leading. Even if I'm breaking inside. Even if the nightmares are getting worse. Even if I can't sleep in a bed or feel safe or remember what normal feels like. I keep going. Because that's what soldiers do. We keep going until we can't anymore. Dombrowski said something yesterday. He said, Sarge, you know you can't protect all of us, right? Some of us aren't going to make it, no matter what you do, no matter how good you are. I know that. Of course I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm not delusional. I know the odds. I know the math. I know that some of them will die before this war ends. But I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to do everything I can, give everything I have, fight as hard as possible to get them home, even if it means I don't sleep, even if it means I can't rest, even if it means I break myself trying to keep them whole. That's the job. That's leadership. That's what Kozlowski did for me, what I owe to them. So I'll try. Even knowing I'll fail, even knowing I can't save everyone. I'll try anyway, because trying is all any of us can do. January 22nd, 1945, still in Mourmelon. I'm trying to write a letter to Mary, the real letter. The honest one, the one that tells the truth instead of comfortable lies. I've started it 6 times, can't finish, can't find the words, can't figure out how to explain what I've become, what this war has made me. Dear Mary, I don't know how to write this. I don't know how to tell you what it's been like, what I've done, what I've seen, what I've become. I've killed men, so many men I've lost count, burned them alive in their tanks, shot them when they ran, watched them die screaming, watched friends die the same way, learned to keep moving, keep fighting, keep killing. I'm not the man you fell in love with. That man died somewhere between Normandy and Bastogne. I don't know who I am now, don't know what I am. Some kind of soldier, some kind of killer, some kind of survivor. I don't know if I can come back to Scranton, back to Woolworths, back to stocking shelves, back to caring about inventory and customers and all the small, normal things that used to matter. I look at your photograph and I can barely remember what it felt like to be that person, the one who held your hand at the movies, who danced with you at church socials, who planned a future with white picket fences and Sunday dinners and growing old together. That person feels like a stranger now, someone I used to know, someone who existed in a different life, a different world, before I knew what human beings are capable of, before I became capable of it myself. I'm scared, Mary, more scared of going home than I am of combat, scared that you'll look at me and see a stranger, scared that I won't be able to feel the things I'm supposed to feel, scared that I'm broken in ways that can't be fixed, damaged beyond repair. Do you still want to marry me? Do you still want me at all? Because I don't know if the man coming home is someone you could love, someone you should love. I don't know if I deserve you anymore. Don't know if I deserve happiness or peace or normal life. Don't know if I deserve anything except the nightmares and the guilt and the memories that won't stop. Jim, I can't send that. I can't put that burden on her. Can't ask her to carry my brokenness. Can't make her responsible for fixing me. So I crumpled it up. Started again. Dear Mary, Thank you for your letters. They mean more to me than you know. Sorry I haven't written as much lately. We've been busy, but things are quieter now. The weather here is cold. The food is okay. I'm staying safe. We're out of the line for a while. Getting some rest. It's good to have a break. I miss you. I think about you every day. About your smile. About your laugh. About the life we planned together. About coming home. About starting fresh. About all the good things waiting on the other side of this. I hope you're well. Give my love to your family. Tell your father I miss his bar. Tell your mother I miss her cookies. Tell them I'm thinking of them. I'll write again soon, I promise. All my love, Jim. That's the letter I'll actually send. The lie that protects her from the truth. The sanitized version that keeps her believing I'm still the man she remembers. Maybe that's what love is now. Protecting people from who you've become. Shielding them from the war. Keeping the horror away from home. Or maybe it's cowardice. Maybe I should tell her the truth. Give her the choice. Let her decide if she can love this version of me. But I can't. Can't risk losing her. Can't risk the one good thing I have left. The one reason to keep fighting. Keep surviving. Keep trying to get home. So I lie. I pretend. I keep up the illusion. And I hope it's enough. Hope that somehow I can go home and fake being normal until maybe I actually become normal again. Until the mask becomes the face. Is that possible? Can you pretend your way back to who you were? Can you lie your way into wholeness? I don't know, but I have to try. Have to believe it's possible. Because the alternative is too dark, too final, too hopeless. So I'll try. I'll go home. I'll marry Mary if she'll still have me. I'll get a job. I'll smile. I'll pretend. I'll fake it. And maybe someday it won't be fake anymore. Maybe someday I'll actually feel something besides numbness and guilt and fear. Maybe. That word again. Maybe. The only hope I have left. February 2nd, 1945, Mourmelon. The orders came. We're going back to the line. Different sector, different mission, but back to combat, back to killing, back to dying. The men groaned when they heard, but they're preparing, checking weapons, packing gear, writing letters home. The routine familiar now. Comfortable almost. We know what do. How to prepare. How to say goodbye without saying goodbye. How to pretend this might not be the last time. I've been promoted. Officially now. Sergeant. They gave me Kozlowski's stripes, sewed them on my uniform, his rank, his responsibility, his burden. I'm in command of a new squad, 10 men, mostly replacements, only 3 of us from Bastogne, me, Dombrowski, Peterson Jr. The new guys look at me different, like I'm something special. Because I survived Bastogne. Because I killed tanks at close range. Because I have sergeant stripes and a 1,000-yard stare and this air of competence that comes from experience. They don't understand. Surviving doesn't make you special. It makes you lucky. And luck runs out. Survival is just delayed death. Postponed ending. Nothing more. But they need to believe. Need to think I know what I'm doing. Need to trust that following me will keep them alive. So I let them believe. I play the role. The competent sergeant, the veteran soldier, the man who knows, even though I'm just as scared as they are, just as lost, just as uncertain. Fake it till you make it. That's leadership. That's command. Dombrowski is my permanent loader now. We're a team. We know each other's movements. Trust each other completely. Don't need words anymore. Just signals. Just understanding. Just partnership forged in fire. He's not the scared kid from December anymore. He's harder now, quieter, the eyes different, cold, distant, efficient. War did that to him. I did that to him, slapping him, yelling at him, making him hard enough to survive. I hate that I changed him, hate that I took his youth, his innocence, his softness, hate that I made him into a killer because that's what this job requires. But he's alive, he survived, he's going home someday because I made him hard. Made him sharp, made him capable. Is that good? Is that the right trade? His innocence for his survival? I don't know, I hope so. I hope when he goes home, when he sees his mother and eats her pot roast and sleeps in his own bed, that he'll forgive me. Understand. Know I did what I had to do to keep him alive. The chaplain found me today, Captain Walsh. Asked how I'm doing, really doing. I told him I'm fine. He looked at me for a long time, seeing through the lie, seeing the truth underneath, the brokenness I'm trying to hide. He said, "Sergeant, I know what you're carrying. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you move, in the way you don't sleep. You don't have to carry it alone." I didn't know what to say to that, didn't know how to respond, so I just stood there. He said, "God doesn't expect you to be strong all the time. He understands weakness. He understands fear. He understands doubt. He understands what war does to men. He weeps for what you've had to do, what you've had to become." I said, "Father, I don't know what I believe anymore. I don't know if God exists, don't know if He cares, don't know if any of it matters." He said, "That's okay. Belief isn't permanent. It comes and goes like waves. Faith isn't about feeling God. It's about showing up anyway, putting one foot in front of the other, doing the next right thing even when you don't believe, even when you can't feel, even when everything is dark." He said, "You're doing that. You're showing up. You're leading. You're protecting. You're surviving. That's faith. That's what God asks of us. Not certainty, not understanding, just showing up, just continuing." Maybe he's right. Maybe that's all faith is. Not feeling God, not having answers, just continuing. Just refusing to quit, just surviving another day. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all any of us can do. Maybe. He gave me a blessing, made the sign of the cross over me, said, "Go with God, Sergeant Mallory, and know that you are seen, you are known, you are loved, even in this, especially in this." Then he moved on to talk to someone else, to bless someone else, to try to help someone else carry their burden. I stood there for a minute, thinking about what he said, about showing up, about continuing, about faith as action rather than feeling. Maybe that's what I've been doing all along. Maybe I've had faith this whole time without knowing it. Faith not as belief, but as persistence, as refusal to quit, as determination to keep going even when everything says stop. Maybe that's enough. February 5th, 1945. Ready room, preparing to move out. This is the last entry I'm writing before we head out. The trucks are warming up outside, engines rumbling, exhaust visible in the cold air. The squad is assembled, weapons loaded, gear packed, ready. We're ready. I don't know where we're going exactly. Northeast, into Germany proper this time, pushing toward the Rhine, then beyond, then toward Berlin, towards the end. Everyone says it's almost over. Germany is collapsing. The Russians advancing from the east, us from the west, the Germans trapped between, running out of men, running out of fuel, running out of time, maybe months, maybe weeks, maybe it'll be over by summer, but maybe not. Maybe Germany will fight to the last man, to the last bullet, to the bitter end. Maybe we'll have to take it city by city, building by building, room by room. Maybe a lot more men will die before it's over. I don't know. None of us know. We just know we're going back. Back to the line, back to combat, back to the grind of surviving one more day, one more hour, one more minute. I've been thinking about everything that's happened, about how I got here, about who I was and who I've become, about the journey from Scranton to Moormelon, from boy to soldier, from innocent to killer. I worked at Woolworths, 25 cents an hour, stocked shelves, took inventory, swept floors, dated a pretty girl, played baseball on weekends, went to church on Sundays, lived a simple, normal, good life. Now I kill for a living. Now I carry dead men's watches and rosary beads. Now I lead boys half-trained into situations where some of them won't come back. Now I make decisions about who lives and who dies. Now I'm responsible for more than just myself. That's what I am now. That's what the war made me. Soldier, killer, leader, survivor. But I'm also still Jim Mallory from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm still Mary's fiancé. I'm still Eddie's friend. I'm still my mother's son. I'm still my father's boy. I'm still the kid who wanted to do the right thing. Those parts of me are still in here somewhere. Buried. Changed. But there. Still existing underneath the hardness. Underneath the killing. Underneath the survival instinct. I'm not the man I was. But maybe I'm not completely lost either. Maybe there's a way back. Not to who I was. That's impossible. That person is dead. But to someone new. Someone who carries both. The before and the after. The innocent and the experienced. the boy and the soldier. Maybe there's a way to integrate them, to become whole again, different but whole, changed but real, human despite everything. And I don't know if Mary will understand that, if she'll still love the person I've become. The man who comes home with nightmares and scars and memories that won't fade. But I'm going to try. I'm going to survive. I'm going to make it through this war. I'm going to go home. I'm going to see her again. I'm going to try to build something from the pieces that are left. For Kozlowski, for Hinton, for all of them who didn't get that chance, who died in the snow, who sacrificed everything, who gave me the opportunity to continue. I owe them that much. Owe them my survival, my attempt at living well, my effort to make their sacrifice mean something. So I'll try. I'll fight. I'll survive. I'll go home. I'll love Mary. I'll build a life. I'll try to be good despite what I've done, despite what I've become, despite everything. The whistle is blowing. Time to go. Time to mount up. Time to head back to war. Dombrowski is waiting. The squad is waiting. The war is waiting. I'm putting this diary away now. Into my pack. Wrapped in oilcloth. To keep it dry. To preserve it. To make sure if something happens, if I don't make it, someone will find it. Someone will read it. Someone will know what happened here. What we did. What we endured. What it cost. To whoever reads this someday. To Mary, if you're reading this. To my family. To anyone who wants to know what it was like. This is what it was like. Cold, terrifying, brutal, senseless, random, unfair, grinding, relentless. But also brotherhood, sacrifice, loyalty, finding strength you didn't know you had, discovering what you're capable of, learning what matters, what's real, what's worth fighting for, worth dying for, worth surviving for. We held Bastogne, against everything, against all odds, against logic and reason and hope. We held because we had to, because others were depending on us, because giving up wasn't an option. We paid for it. 50% casualties, 41 dead, 51 wounded, friends lost, youth destroyed, innocence shattered. But we held, and we'll hold again wherever they send us. Whatever comes next, we'll hold, we'll fight, we'll survive, we'll continue. Because that's what we do. That's what soldiers do. We show up, we do the job, we protect the men next to us, we put one foot in front of the other, we keep going even when everything says stop, we hold. That's all, that's everything, that's the whole thing, we hold.